I believe that just made the audio as I went
Ec-
live.
Excellent.
Beautiful.
Excellent.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 5 of the Omniverse Chronicles Unsinkable. This is the last one. I'm sure everything will be fine, and all of our characters will make it out the other side. Possibly. But before we get to the meat of the episode, everyone, very quickly go around, introduce yourselves, let people know how they can find out stuff about you.
Hi, everybody. I am Amanda. My pronouns are she, her, and I usually go online by I am a T-Rex. I know most of you, so thanks all for being here. You can find my stuff at iamaTrex.com, and I am just always around hyping different games. I love Car from Brindlewood games. I'm the editor-in-chief of a anthology zine of different Car from Brindlewood games things that you should check out. That's sprigsandkindling.com. Otherwise, I am super excited to run this final session of Unsinkable. I am also not ready.
No, is it me? I'm still not ready. I couldn't get my character sheet to open. Hi, I'm Susan Quintana, and I'm not ready for this to end. I am playing Elga. What is my playbook? The Stoker. And you can also find me running Novel Games podcasts. Find it wherever you find your podcasts.
Hi, I am Percy Davis, former professional wrestler, current professional wrestling commentator for Naptown All Pro out of Indianapolis. Uh, I'm the guy that makes people cry, apparently, and I do
Yes, you are,
so
sweetie.
with pride. And speaking of which, happy Pride, everyone. I love you all. Uh,
Oh,
I'm not super duper fun and have a crazy cool podcast, but watch all my friends' podcasts. Everyone here is lovely.
Hi, gang. My name's Wes Franks, and now that it's the last episode, I've completely figured out my intro. My pronouns are they, them. You can find me online at carrion-comfort.com. I wrote this depression simulator, and I can't wait for you all to play it as well. I have the power of French firearms and anime on my side. I play Carter, the stowaway. And this is starting to feel like I am on MTV's Real World introducing myself. So that's where I'm going to call it.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kim Dalton, pronouns she, her. I'm a regular fixture around the Crit Show. If you've been on this Twitch stream, chances are you've seen my face. If you really enjoy Unsinkable, The Between, and all things Car from Brindlewood, I encourage you to check out my podcast. It's called Kitchen Marlowe. We are playing Shadows in the Smoke, which is my version of an actual play of The Between. So it's this, but set in Victorian London. We've got a brand new episode coming out in just a few short hours, featuring demonic activity hidden in Abbey, featuring a very sexually graphic scene during a confession, some casual morning opium smoking, a lot of fun stuff going on in that episode. But literally, episode 5 made me, the GM, who is very hard to shock, clutch my pearls. So if that's at all an incentive, I encourage you to listen to it, but not in front of children. All right.
I'm sorry. Hold on. I'm sorry. Someone out hornied Kim? How? How? That is masterclass. That is Olympic levels of horny. That is so good.
Yeah, so if you want to see the Olympic levels of horny, please check out Shadows in the Smoke. Episodes 1 through 4 are available right now, and episode 5 is dropping at midnight Pacific time. Go to.
Percy just gave you a new slogan for the show: Olympic levels of horny.
Olympic levels of horniness. Yes. Happy Pride. I give you Olympic levels of horniness by a bunch of queer people.
Incredible. Thanks so much, Kim, for that intro. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Our very last session here. Now, as I'm sure everyone has noticed, if you've been paying attention, if you've been watching, this has been a very, very fast-paced campaign of Unsinkable. Normally, it wouldn't be quite this fast. You would have a little more time to, you know, soak into the characters and their vulnerable moves and all of that. But because we're picking things up pretty fast paced, it hasn't really been like that. Which is why I'm very excited that we're going to get a whole bunch of masks right off the bat. Now, Susan, you weren't here last time because you were doing cool traveling things that I wasn't at all jealous about, and oops, I was jealous. But you, Jesus, Wes. Okay, sorry, I just read Wes's comment in the chat. So I completely derailed my entire train of thought, and we're back on the masks. Okay, back on the masks. So Susan, you're going to be narrating a Mask of the Grave from the Haunting of the RMS Hyperion threat, as well as one of your own personal masks. You can choose which one to narrate. We're not going to make you go first, but I'd also like to recommend that you mark your XP from the last session, so in case you get an advancement. And I'll just let you handle that. If you can't remember, just give yourself XP, whatever is the last session. Who would like to go first with the masks?
Wait, hold on. I didn't know we could just put whatever we wanted for XP.
Don't worry about it.
Max me out if you're going to kill me.
Only Susan gets to do it. I'm playing favorites now.
I'm going on vacation next time. Oh wait,
God's
it's the
favorite
last
element.
one.
Percy, no.
Oh,
Who's gonna make us cry? All right, masks. Who wants to start? Who would like to start us off? Otherwise, I will assign someone. And I'll choose the person who looks the least ready.
I'll go.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say, damn.
I'll go
I
ahead. I'll go
was gonna
ahead.
say,
There ain't no
I don't have.
goddamn way. No.
Okay.
No.
My mask
I
is
don't
in.
have. I also don't have a cry one. I have
Yeah.
a very good camaraderie one. Thank you very much.
My mask isn't sad
That's why
either.
I need it, because mine's sad. Mine's
Okay.
a little. It's a little happy, but it's bittersweet. Sorry. Had to take my gum out. Narrate a flashback to the first time you stole from someone to survive. How did they catch you in the act? Why did they let you go? 1 year later. Carter's 17. He's wondering how his life got him to this situation, but he's currently hanging upside down from a clothesline, with his foot caught within the line and his hands wrapped around a jewelry box. There's currently a woman who's got lines carved into her face so deep that she's probably older than most of the trees back home. She's wearing lace, too much makeup, and she's slapping him on the head, just slapping him repeatedly on the face with a fan, screaming a deluge of insults in French. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you're saying, blah, 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 while she's just harassing him, haranguing him in French. At the same time, he is also in English, in perfect American, Southeastern American English, is just saying, you can say whatever you want to me, lady, blah, 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 blah. We can keep doing this for the rest of the night, but you're going to be keeping up a lot of racket, and I'm pretty sure you don't want the police coming around, because I don't want them coming around. And then she hears the word police. And then he nods, and she nods. And then she says, police? And he says, not me. But if you keep that caterwauling up, they're going to be around here real quick. She stops. She says, caterwauling. Fighting. She nods in understanding. She points to his foot. Says a string of words in French. Okay, you can keep that up all you want to, but it doesn't mean... Okay, look. If you can just go ahead and get a knife or something and help me down, it'll be okay. I'll just keep going. I'll give you your box back, all right? I'm just hungry. She pulls out a small knife from her wrist. It's tucked conveniently in there for such situations, probably much like this. And he says, hungry. She says, you're hungry? In French. And then he says the words back to her in French, and she narrows his eyes, and with a slash, she just cuts the line, and he falls down and tumbles into a bunch of garbage. He spits out banana peel, some porridge, some stale bread. She looks down at him, and in perfect English, she says, next time, try not being such an asshole. Then maybe you might get what you want. He looks up and he says, well, thank you anyways. She looks down and she says, fine. And he says, fine. And then she goes inside and he looks around and he gets the slop off of him. And then she comes back out and she says, are you hungry still? And he says, yes. She goes, well, then what are you doing? Come on up. I hate this city. And he turns and he walks towards trying to find the door to get up to this apartment.
Awesome. Awesome. That was nice. I was expecting it to be a lot sadder. That was fun.
No, this does not bode well for the rest of stream. If we're having the good ones now,
Let's
just
do
so you
good
know.
things.
Mine's pretty fine too.
It's all good.
I don't have a sad one.
Oh, so you're volunteering? Okay, go ahead.
Yeah,
Kim.
I'll go with Percy. I'll save you for last. My Mask of the Past is narrate a flashback to the first time you performed on stage. Your lover was there in the audience and you two locked eyes. Describe the look on their face and how your performance moved them. Travel with me again, if you will, to the ratty little music hall just off of Covent Garden that Charlie Yarborough, performing under the sobriquet Miss Charlotte Yates, calls home. Tonight she is headlining in a tawdry production of Salome, a play that was disparaged by critics who called it boring, bloody, morbid, bizarre, repulsive, and very offensive in its adaptation of the Bible. And yet, the stalls were packed every night with audiences that were at turns drunk and belligerent, or bored and listless. But all fell silent and gazed with rapt attention for the moment they all came here to see. The scene that made the previous hour of boring verse and monotony worth it in their eyes. The famous Dance of the Seven Veils, performed by Salome for her stepfather Herod, a dance that would so seduce King Herod he'd offer her anything her heart desired. Charlie takes the stage in silence, completely naked, except for sparkling jewels about her wrists and ankles, and 7 long, sheer veils that barely conceal her body. As the music begins, we see her move with such grace and skill that for a moment everyone is transfixed by the simple, artful beauty in the performance. And then one sheer veil is lifted from her body and sent floating gently to the floor, and the energy of the audience changes. It gets hungrier and more possessive. Step by step, Charlie dances, and one by one, the gossamer veils drift to the floor, revealing more and more of her naked body. It is when she is down to her final, nearly translucent veil that Charlie sees her, this imperious woman in a roiling sea of men. She's older than Charlie, her blonde hair pulled back and affixed with sparkling jewels, real, unlike the glass and paste that decorate Charlie's limbs and throat. The woman locks eyes with Charlie, and in the dim light she can see the wealthy woman raise an eyebrow in mock challenge. Will Salome strip herself away so completely? Charlie answers with a small smile of her own and slowly pulls the final veil from her now naked body and lets it go, not to the stage floor, but out to the audience, out to the waiting, gloved hand of the bejeweled woman. Later, after curtain call, Charlie returns to her cramped dressing room, ready to scrub off her layers of makeup, change into her patched clothes, and make her way to her cramped flat that she shares with 3 other actresses. And sitting on her dressing table is a bottle of champagne, a wrapped box, and an elegant card. Opening the card, it says very simply, "Brava, Miss Yates." As she pulls at the ribbon of the gift box, she finds her returned veil given back to her from the audience, as well as an equally sheer, translucent negligee. There is a further card in here that reads, "Dance for me in this tonight, dear Salome, and I really will give you anything."
Amazing.
Hell yeah.
Amazing.
I had a muted hell yeah, but I needed to vocalize that. Hell yeah.
Hell yeah!
Understandable. Percy, are you ready?
Ah, crap. I shouldn't have spoke. Yeah, yeah, what could possibly go wrong with another Mask of the Past for Dr. Alonzo Pierce, who is tasked with narrating a flashback to the time that you first joined the Panacea Foundation? Who showed you the ropes and helped you get accustomed to your new life? What about them made you desire them? It was really hard getting the commendation. I knew I studied hard. I knew that I earned my grades. I earned my spot, but that single letter with a seal of 2 snakes across a staff for life, for health. I'd heard whispers of it in college. A secretive society for only the best, those that exude what it means to care for another human being, and bringing forth society through healthcare and knowledge. And I'm the only fucking one that got one out of my class, so I must be doing something right. I let Mr. Dubois know, and he seems unsurprised, which makes me wonder if he's pulling more strings. But no, he tells me I earned this. And when I make my way to the campus, this roiling mansion, I am so tiny. I am seeing some of the greatest doctors on this planet, folks that know medicine in and out, who come from families of doctors, millionaires, bordering billionaires. I earned my spot here, but I look out of place. But so does one other man, a dark-skinned gentleman, tall as all hell, hunched over and tired, so very tired. I go up and I go to greet him. I go to reach out to another brother, and he hits me with the thickest African accent I've ever heard. Getty Camo, he calls himself. And Getty and I'm already taken aback at his stature and his energy the second he sees me. And that was not what I was expecting, and we became fast friends. He had to leave the people who needed him most too. Originally, from somewhere out in the Congo, he left to study medicine, bring it back for his sick wife. And like all stories like that, she's no longer with us. And I offer him my condolences. I tell him of my brother Omar and how I lost him too, doing right by the rest of the world and my family. And he whispers something to me. He whispers, I'm sure he was so proud of you. And Mama said the same thing in one of the last letters I got. And I look at this man, this tall, powerful man with tired eyes, and I see it. I see it behind those eyes like a void. There's magic there. And I look at Getty and I ask him, hey, brother, what kind of magic you be doing? What kind of medicine did you study? And he laughs. He laughs in my fucking face. And then he walks away. This riddle of a man walks away. How could I not be so drawn to him, to know what kind of magic he had? How the fuck did this man know what my mama wrote to me at one time? Time goes on, and Getty shows me what it means to belong. When you walk into a room, you own it. Your place here is not for anyone else to decide. You are your hard work. You are your legacy that you are going to create. And every goddamn time I look around in a room full of rich assholes that think they're better than me, or legacies that were built on the backs of other people's parents, I know I am just as good as them. It's like some kind of witchcraft comes over me. I surge with confidence whenever I think of those words that Getty gave me, and wouldn't you know it, that son of a bitch witch doctor, he really did put a spell on me. And the good news about this mask of the past, add this doctor to your strand network.
Yay! A nice mask.
And so I have added Getty Kamo, a Nyanga who traces his roots to the Congo, a witch doctor of Africa.
That's awesome.
Fantastic.
I was about ready to curse Wes's name, so that's
Finally.
very nice. Finally,
Finally.
something nice happens.
Look, I'm a little teased. You know me. You know
Yeah.
me.
It is
I'm
true.
A little
You
It
little
is true.
minx, Wes.
I know. You know, just I'm a little stinker.
So here we are in the day phase,
Teacher.
the last day phase of our.
Teacher. Susan.
We still have Susan. I am so sorry, Susan.
Thank you. I'm glad that we had somebody say up because I was about to do the same thing.
Thank
Nobody
you,
gets
nerdy
by.
student.
Thank you.
I
That's right.
appreciate you,
Mhm.
nerdy student.
You assigned Susan homework. We need to see it.
Oh no.
But how am I supposed to? What do I describe after that?
Welcome
Your
to our
mask.
world.
Everything that you describe is beautiful, Susan. Just
It's true.
make me feel something.
Okay. Well, I have two, so here we go. Mask of the Past. We go back to the Eastern European coastline, and we see time shift. The the village that was there in the last flashback grows larger. There are more people, there's more animals, there is more plants. The land is plentiful. Until it is not. A force moves in from the sea. That sea that she stares out at every single day from the top of her past, that she wonders, where does it lead to? The sea gave something to her, and it destroyed her village. These massive wooden ships, these people with metal in their hands, they came and they killed everyone and everything. And there were no more plants to grow, and there were no more people to leave baskets full of flowers at her door. And she sat there and she wondered if there was something that she was supposed to do. There's no guidebook on how to do this. She's not sure. And so she just sat and watched as the land around her died with the people who came in, took what they wanted, and left.
Oh.
But we don't have to be sad for too long, because life continues. That is what Elga knows. Life continues. Even when it doesn't look like there is life around. The rocks are alive, and they never change, but everything around them changes. The industrial age began, and in a city far enough away that she didn't consider it hers, but close enough that she could see it, there was trains. There was even cars, although there weren't very many that she got to see or even ride in. And then there were explosions. And one day she woke up to what felt like a knife in her chest, which is not possible. And she felt something calling her. And for the first time in a very long time, she left her past and she sunk into the ground and she traveled along the edge of the mountains, where she knew her closest sibling was, which might be too strong of a word, but when you're all alone and when you don't really have blood in your body, you kind of get to decide who's your family and who's not. It was someone else like her of the earth, and they had their own place that they lived. And as she came upon them, which she very rarely did, she found trains and she found men and she found cars and she found holes being blown into the side of that mountain. And again, didn't know what to do. These weren't her people. This wasn't her place. She could probably step in. She can do some damage. Oh my gosh. Cass scared me. My dog is in my room with me. Oh, I'm so sorry. Hold on a second.
An angel. I just said it. I said it off screen, but Cass is an angel who's never done anything bad and continues to never do anything bad.
Jax, thank you for the resub. Well, we're in a
This
quiet
is
moment right now.
probably a bad idea. She's probably going to bark into the microphone, but I'm not quite sure what she's distracted with. Where was I? She could hurt these people. She knows how to do some damage. She's defended herself in her past before, but there's just so much. And as she watches chunks of rock blow from the side of this mountain and she feels that pain in her chest again, I think my family is home. Let me let the dog out of the room.
Oh, pets. Always wonderful. This is how you know this is live, friends.
It's true. Can't edit this out.
No. And we wouldn't choose to anyway, because we love the dog. We love that puppy.
And as
We're also
she
contractually obligated to keep it in. Sorry.
Yeah.
It's true.
Continue, please, Susan.
Please.
She realizes she's too late anyways. She took too long to get here. This has been going on for too long. Her sibling didn't cry out in time. There's lots of reasons that she lists even today as she thinks back on it. There was nothing she could have done. And that is why she carries her old wounds with her wherever she goes. That is in reference to the tattoo I said she had on her hands. So there was my Mask of the Past and Mask of the Grave.
Well done.
Well done. Great callback to the tattoos, too. That was wonderful. That was really wonderful. So now we can get started on day phase, if all the students are ready. I'm just teasing Kim
Yes, Miss
now
Mullins.
for... Oh, there we go. Now I feel like I need to get my teacher persona on. I don't have a teacher persona.
I don't give a
So-
frick.
Oh, you're that student. Okay.
How will I get through to
so-
these teens?
From what was happening last time, we had Dr. Pierce. You were going to go see Tully. Tully is the person who was rescued from the boat that was destroyed by the iceberg that is currently following the RMS Chronos. You wanted to go and check in on him and see how he is doing from a medical perspective, and also probably from an investigative perspective.
What?
But excuse me. I would like to know, now that the RMS Hyperion situation is dealt with, we still have the iceberg that is following the ship and the problem of the doppelgangers. I would like to know what Elga wants to do today.
The last thing I remember, I was in a kitchen, but time has passed. So I want to find the Viscountess.
Get in line.
We will.
There's already a line forming out the door, and we might be sorely disappointed if things go the way that I think they're gonna go.
I imagine things are going to be fine, because last we saw, Carter was planning to threaten the Viscountess with a gun that he has in order to get her to keep her mouth shut. Why don't we start with that scene and see what happens? Carter, do you want to frame it up? Right while you're chewing, of course.
No, I was kind of thinking of where we teed it up to take place at, or was it just? It was just.
I don't
I
think
don't
we
think we
did,
teed it up
yeah.
anywhere. Yeah.
No, we didn't. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it's a blank slate. Ah, great. I think Carter is going to shadow the Viscountess and then go to the stateroom. It's first class. So you'll see Carter go to like a stowaway, a place where he's keeping his bag, and is going to change back into the tuxedo, but has like shoes this time. They're not nice shoes, but they're shoes, so he won't stick out too much. And is like looking both ways. Is going to like stand up and then look down at the bag, and then bend down and then pull out that Modele 1892 revolver, that's like French issue for the French Foreign Legion and standard issue, is going to open it, and you see that there's 6 shots in it. He's going to roll through the cylinder. He's going to close it. He's going to tuck it into the side of the tuxedo pants. The cummerbund, actually. He's going to stick it in the cummerbund of the tuxedo. And then light a cigarette that he picked up off an ashtray as he passed by, and is going to go to the room, look around, and then do a shave and a haircut.
Freddy, is that you with breakfast? Don't tell me that you've already started, darling. That was supposed to be for me. And I'm going to open the door.
And then I'm going to push my way in. Not violently, but suddenly, just shockingly. And then I'm going to close the door and lean up against it. Who's Freddy?
Why, that is my manservant. I'm sure you've seen him lurking about behind me.
Sometimes. Sometimes I can just smell them. When they're coming back.
Well, I suppose it depends on how long it takes to make sure my eggs are cooked exactly the way that I like them. What happened to your accent?
Figured I didn't need it. I got something else, and I'm going to reach in the cummerbund and then pull out the revolver.
Holy shit.
Yeah, don't really need the accent anymore. So you'd already been clued in on my bogus accent, right?
Well, it takes a bullshitter to recognize a bullshitter.
I fucking knew it. I fucking knew it. Okay, I knew just from the moment that I saw you that you were fucking right through... veneered. I knew it. Veneered. Sorry, I just heard that word the other day and I learned what it meant.
All right, so what is it you want? You want money?
No. He's gonna pull out the pockets, and there's just like jewels, money, fucking pocket watches, just like dropping it on there. And I was like, I don't need fucking money. I got plenty of that. There's gonna be plenty of that. All right. I need a place to stay. I need a place to rest my head. I need a place where I don't need to worry about anybody sticking me in the side.
Well, I don't know. I mean, this room's rather cramped. I mean, and she sort of gestures at this palatial place.
Mm-hmm. So is it you, the manservant, and I don't know, some stuffy old rich feller?
I think as you're looking about the room, you maybe see an article of clothing that belongs to Dr. Pierce.
Took my tie again.
All right. Okay. So are y'all doing day fraternizing or nighttime fraternizing? Are y'all just getting it in all hours where you can?
I'd encourage you not to be so cross. I'll have you know I actually care for him.
Oh, shit. Yeah, I fell in love on a boat once. And then I set foot on land, and, well, you know how London is.
I do.
Okay. Well, then we'll make this all right, then. Because, you got what I want and need, and you need to be able to get off this ship without anybody figuring out your little secret, right?
That's right.
Sounds like we're kismet. We're tied. 2 peas in a pod.
Lucky me.
We'll do it in shifts so I don't interrupt your rendezvous.
You're not sleeping in my bed.
I'm not a bed sleeper. You don't have to worry about that.
Fine.
Fine.
What's your name then? Sure as heck not
Carter.
Mouse or whatever you're going by. Carter.
Carter. Yeah. Carter. It's not Colin O'Donoghue. and it's not mouse, it's little bird. Thank you very much. And I earned that nom de plume.
All right, Carter. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you, Viscountess. I wasn't going to use this on you anyways. You're
Well, you-
sterner stuff than this.
I think we can cut it right there. That was awesome. Great, great little scene. Chad is wondering if Carter sleeps standing up like a horse. I like to think that that is true.
Tub boy. Feel secure in a
Tub boy.
tub.
Oh,
Sleep in a tub.
I was hoping-
Can't get. Yeah.
I was
What if the
hoping upside
bombs
down
go
like a.
off?
I was hoping like upside down like a bat. Like
Like a
you know.
bat.
Yeah.
Let's cut over to Dr. Pierce. Dr. Pierce, Tully has been put up in some quarters on the ship that have been vacated by somebody who had been perhaps eaten by one of the merfolk. And the door is open as you walk in, and he's like a salty old sea dog, you know. He's got the salt and pepper beard. He's rocking back and forth, muttering to himself, kind of clawing at his own shoulders with his nails.
And yeah, as I make my way in, be like, hello, sir. My name is Dr. Alonzo Pierce. I came just to take a look at you. You seem like you was out on the water for quite some time, so I'm imagining you need quite a bit of medical attention.
A doctor. Yes, we need a doctor. The ship is sinking. We need a doctor. But
I ain't no ship doctor. I'm a doctor on the ship, but two different distinctions from what I'm told with grammar and everything. And he Pierce is gonna kind of like go over and try to like take his hand and like try to get like a reading on just like his pulse, get a feel on like his temperature, everything like that. Just the tinier bits.
for sure, yeah. I'd say, you know what, this is the information move. I think you're definitely using reason. If you have anything in your footlocker that you think will be helpful, you're welcome to use it to try and get advantage.
Not this time, but
Fair enough.
we'll figure it out. Womp, that's a 6. I'm the king of 6s. It's meant to be.
I think he turns to you. He looks up at you. He is wild-eyed. He is half deranged, and he says, "You are no doctor." And he has a very thick Scottish accent that I can't do. He says, "You are no doctor. I see you. You are a minion of hell. You are a minion of hell, just like the others. You sent the iceberg to me. You don't understand. There is no stopping it. It chases you and never stops. It is not an animal. It is not natural. It is pure retribution coming to make us finally pay for our sins. You are calling it, aren't you?" And he lunges at you, hands clenching around your throat. This is going to be a night move
Uh-oh.
with vitality if you want to fight back. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
I am afraid he's gonna knock me unconscious and then terrorize other folks on the ship. And so by not being able to stop him, he hurts the people I'm dedicated to take care of.
It's worse than that. He kills you, and your doppelganger takes over your place on the ship with quite a lot of efficacy. Let's
All
try
right.
that move with vitality. If you have an item in your footlocker you would like to try and use, you're welcome to.
See what I got.
I love throwing out a night move in the
I-
middle of the day.
So funny.
It's
So
my favorite.
I I think looking back, I have the doppelganger's notebook, and in that notebook, where Pierce's notebook is on ways to heal, less standard medical practices, everything he's seen. The doppelgangers are ways to hurt, the quickest
Ooh.
ways to disable and harm. And I think I see a way in which to counteract a maneuver I've seen in that notebook that I'm going to use more to just subdue him than mangle him in the way that my doppelganger would have.
Yeah, so you're not trying to kill him, you're just trying to get him to stop. Yeah, that makes sense then. Let's have the move if you're willing to still go through with this.
Absolutely. And this is he's
With
just gonna
advantage.
with advantage. Hold on. Like it.
So you roll 3d6 and take the highest 2 and then add your modifier of vitality.
I have a 1. That's an 8.
Let's jump over to Elga. Elga, I think you are walking down the corridors looking for the Viscountess Burgundy, and you see out one of the windows. You see out one of the, the circular sort of porthole style windows, the iceberg that is following the ship, and it seems like it's coming closer. And you can hear it. It sounds like it's screaming. Icebergs are just rock and ice. And you know rock. And you know the sounds of the screams that come from rocks in distress. What would you like to do?
I look out the window down at the water below and the expanse of water in between the ship and the iceberg. And I put my hand on the window and then my forehead on the window. I just take a long moment of staring at it and staring between it and the water, which I am terrified of.
Mm-hmm.
And I turn away. I turn away. I can't help her.
As you turn away, you find yourself in a very well decorated, fancy decorated office. There is a table. There's nobody in here, but there is a table. And you see a miniature of the RMS Hyperion, a miniature of the RMS Chronos, and the third of the trio of sister ships, you see a miniature of the RMS Oceanus. Now, you know that all of these ships were commissioned and completed rather quickly by a wealthy benefactor. And you see a miniature of an iceberg that is moving its way towards the RMS Chronos. In that moment, there is a knock at the door. Ah, can I help you, my dear? A very debonair, very fancy voice says, and you turn to see who we know is Idonis Flag.
Is this your office?
Yes, and may I ask what you're doing in here?
Yes, I will. Apologies, and I will fix. And then I turn back to his desk and I flip it.
This is absolutely a night move, flipping the mastermind's desk in their office. What are you afraid is going to happen if you lose your cool even more, or fail at I'm not even sure what you're trying to do. Threatening him?
Here we go. Here we go. Opening the little door into Elga's mind. This is what's on the desk is playing out, right?
Mm-hmm.
So this little bitty berg is like, if I stop that one, maybe it'll stop that one. And I'm not going to touch it because I'm not stupid. So I'll just flip the desk.
The science checks out.
I feel like nothing can go wrong here. Except what could go wrong here?
Oh,
What
that's
are you
right. I'm
afraid will
sorry.
happen?
That was the question. So what I am afraid of is that this actually isn't going to work. I'm going to flip the desk, and instead of like stopping the magic, like if the little bitty berg, like if that figurine breaks, then it'll kill the iceberg outside. Like I will kill her. Like
Mhm.
that's what I am terrified of, that I'm making this bad worse.
Yeah, it is worse than that. If the little miniature of the RMS Chronos breaks, the ship will sink.
Don't use my logic against me.
Do it.
If you would still like to continue, I believe this is. Ooh. I think this is actually going to be a roll with sensitivity. You're welcome to use an item from your foot locker if you think it would be helpful.
I am the most sensitive of all of us ballast clasts. So this is actually I'm the person to be rolling this. But I don't think I've used a footlocker item yet.
I was gonna argue I'm the most sensitive, but I meant as a person.
Emotionally,
Yeah.
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 I want you to sink this ship so badly.
Oh no, Kim, our ship! Also, the boat's going down.
No, not that ship. Don't sink that one.
I'm gonna use that for another night move.
I'm gonna pull out a little straw doll of myself.
Yeah. Okay.
We're all in miniature here.
Yeah, okay. What do you want to do with the doll? How is this
And
giving you?
I am going to set her down on top of the bitty berg. And then I'm gonna flip the desk, so the little bitty berg is cushioned by me.
Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. Let's get this roll with sensitivity on the table.
Okay. That's an 11.
Wow.
We're going to cut back to our friends that are having a good discussion over in the Viscountess's stateroom. Now, I can see that you're angling for a nice little nap there, Carter. Are you going to take a nap in the bathtub?
No, I'm just laying down seeds for later. I'm too busy right now. I got a job to do. Elga said I got to watch after the ship, so I'm going to watch after the ship, you know?
Fair enough.
Sure, yeah.
Okay. I'll let you take I'll let you take the nighttime and everything like that. I'll take the bathtub during the day. The morning time when you're sleeping in your bed and you're all cozy and everything. And you won't even know I'm here.
I better not.
There's ventilation shafts in the boat.
Have you been watching me, you perv?
Darling, if I was watching you, you'd know, alright? Carter's a lot of things. Peeping Tom's not one of them, alright?
Yeah, fine. Sure, yeah.
I'm going to
Good.
start walking towards the bathroom, and I'm going to stop at the bathroom door, and I want to say, now, if you ever need somebody to do some peeping on you, or to wash your back or something, and your doctor's got his hands up in somebody else's guts,
Thank you,
can
that's
give me-
enough.
all right now. I'm just going to turn and look at the ventilation shaft. And I am going to go ahead and use my move where the shadows lie, to get to the greenhouse that has been under duress by the iceberg.
Absolutely. Yeah. I think, yeah, you are you're very comfortable moving through these ventilation shafts. You're basically a slimy rat man, so you have no
I take some
problem.
soap. I take some
Yeah.
soap and yeah, like I take the
Ugh.
tuxedo off and fold it in the bathroom, and then I like take some soap
Yeah.
to get me to move through. Yep.
Viscountess Burgundy, what kind of soap do you use? What does Carter smell like now?
Um, he
Just for flavor
smells
text.
like lavender and vanilla.
Oh, delicious. So down in the port side greenhouse, we see glass walls encasing rows of potted soil and troughs filled to the brim with greenery. Guests are quietly sitting amongst the trees and the fruit. You see bees from man-made hives bumbling from petal to petal. Paint the scene for everyone. What rare plants are surprising to see potted here? What rare plants are you surprised to see potted here?
I'm gonna go ahead and be a filthy little brand rep for my own brand. And there is a corpse flower, which is my logo. It's part of my logo. But it's just this big, beautiful, stinky plant.
They smell so bad.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely dreadful.
There is an agave, which is a desert plant that grows for decades and decades, and then at the final moment of its life grows this impossibly tall 20-30 foot spire, releases a single flower, and dies. And of course, it happens to be doing that exactly right now.
Oh, I think, yeah, there's people standing around just in complete awe of this beautiful thing.
I think there are overgrown Venus flytraps. And if you were to look inside one of the larger ones, there is a rat. A very, very dissolved rat.
Hey, now you keep those echoes of the night to yourself, all right?
That's right, Dr.
All right.
Pierce. Kill the rat.
Stop trying to put things in the universe.
Oh no, you brought this into the universe.
I know, that's true. It's true.
He threatened me.
I'm about to kill one man. What's one more?
Susan,
A
how?
really, really, really long time ago, I tried writing a mystery, a threat for the between, and I never finished it. But it was centered around a Joshua tree. And so I'm going to be really selfish, and I'm going to say that there is a juvenile Joshua tree in here, for the mystique and the legend that surrounds it. And it's in the same little desert area as the agave is.
That is beautiful. This sounds like a really beautiful greenhouse. And no, I'm not going to make anything really dreadful happening down here. Why, just yet? Why did you decide to go to the greenhouse, Carter?
Look, I don't know these ballast class people or what the hell fuck ever. And so I'm just going to utilize the benefits that have been beset upon me as taking upon this great and glorious purpose of keeping these people alive, because Elga has told me to do so. And I heard that the greenhouse is all fucked up. So I'm going to go help out the greenhouse, and maybe that'll be enough for me to get like a meal or like a back scratch or maybe like a bath ticket like we used to have back in the Legion, get a bath ticket. So, something like that.
And I think as you look around the greenhouse, it doesn't look like it's in that bad of a state. The people are still milling around. People are admiring the flowers. But then you realize that towards one of the back wall that is along the side of the ship, the port side of the ship, you see that the walls are moving and creaking. as if waves, huge waves, are smashing against it. And the flowers on that side of the greenhouse, they are straining towards the windows, towards, as if like flowers strain towards the sunlight. They're straining towards this water as it splashes up against the walls of the hull of the ship. What would you like to do down here?
You lot thirsty? There doesn't appear to be anybody in here, right?
In this part of the, I don't think there's anybody over
Mhm.
in this part of thing. You can pretty much have your, you can set the scene as you like, yeah.
I think this is a perfect moment for me to mark my second part of Where the Shadows Lie as I walk towards the plants. I may also find a mastermind clue determined by the keeper, which can only be chosen 3 times. When doing so, I meet someone who seems lost and trying to find their way back home. What signs suggest this person may be a specter? I think, as Carter doesn't see anybody and starts seeing those plants kind of like lean over, like walks over and says, "Y'all thirsty? You need some water or something?" And starts looking around and trying to look for a pail of water, and sees like a shed, and walks on over and is startled because there's a guy in a yellow rain slicker and a yellow rain slicker cap. And he turns and he's got a big eye and he's got like this massive glove on. You can see that there's a crab attached to it. And he's like, "You be here to help out on the ship down there, boyo." "What? You coming on boy? Got tons of crabs out in the beds and everything. Trying to be digging up for it. We got a bunch of fishing going out for that, boyo. You gotta be going and crabbing. Come on inside. You're letting all the rain in." He steps inside. He's like, I don't understand what you're saying. He's like, "It's because I bit part of my tongue off last time I was on a ship. Don't worry about nothing, lad. It's all good. You've been having me grab this line over here. We're trying to get the line casted out." And he points over to a table that has a bunch of like plants that are being like in the process of being potted, like found in new pots and everything. They're growing and everything. He's like, "The line?" He's like, "You daft boy, the line. And he goes, "Okay." Walks over and starts like grabbing a small pot with a plant that's getting a bit too big, and like pulls it out, and then like grabs some potting soil, puts it in a bigger pot, and sticks it in. I'm like that? And he's like, "Aye, lad, the line. Go ahead, get it reeled out, get it ready. Okay, we had to be casting off there." These new lads, none too smart, nothing in the middle of their brains there. And when he
Outstanding.
sees that and he turns, he can see that like the back of this guy he didn't notice before, but there's like a bunch of hooks in his back with fishing line that's leading out like onto the ground and coiled out the door towards like where the water is splashing.
This is so good that I'm going to let this be a clue.
Oh.
This is I'm going to make this a clue for the iceberg.
Oh my god.
Okay.
That there is a man. We're going to name him Patty Murphy because I feel like that's
Wow.
the name of this guy. We're going to do Patty Murphy.
Patty.
Comes in playing his little harp. Yeah.
Patty Murphy. He's going to have a bunch of hooks up his back, and I think when he looks at you and kind of kicks a bucket over to you, and you look in the bucket expecting it to be full of maybe crabs or more soil or something, but inside of it is water, and it is swirling around like a hurricane, like a whirlpool. And he says, "Look there, bud. Boys, I bet you never seen nothing like that before." And that is your mastermind clue: a whirlpool in a bucket of water.
Cool.
At this moment, I think I would like for us to take a little break. And when we come back, we'll resolve our scenes. And I think I'm just going to move us right into the night phase because I am evil.
All right. See you all soon. Welcome back, everybody.
So, Viscountess Burgundy, you have the room to yourself again.
Yeah, after
Thankfully.
watching a greased up Carter go through the ventilation shaft.
Yeah, you're never gonna look at the vents again in the
No.
same way. You're gonna be real paranoid for the rest of this voyage, which may or may not be super short. What would you like to do for the rest of your day?
Well, first things first, I'm going to eat the nice breakfast that Freddie brought for me. I'm going to instruct Freddie to scrub the bathroom.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. I can't. The thought of him sleeping in the same place where I just took a bath this morning is like absolutely distasteful to me.
He holds up the remains or the pieces of the tuxedo that are still there and says, "Ma'am, do you want me to burn this?"
Oh, if you could, thank you.
And yeah, he will.
And then I think I'm going to get dressed and I'm going to go in search of D.I. Pettigrew. See if we can
I
get
think
to the
it's
bottom
easy.
of this doppelganger thing. I do also, as a player, like, I want to find Elga someday, but we'll see.
I think, yeah, you do end up finding D.I. Pettigrew fairly easily. He is very loudly questioning some of the serving staff about their whereabouts over the last few hours, over what their jobs on the ship are. Just he's not being very quiet about it. He's easy to find. And I think he sees you as you walk in and he visibly sort of falters for a moment. Viscountess, what can we do for you?
Well, if it isn't the famous detective. I heard there was one on board.
I doubt I am famous for anything around here. Nothing that you would know of, I'm sure.
Well, no, I hear that you're exactly the man to go to about all of these strange people going about the ship, these claims of doppelgangers, of people not being able to take responsibility for their actions. I hear you're just the man to see about that. Let me tell you, people have been acting awfully peculiar.
He flips open a notebook. And what details do you have about these encounters that you've had?
Oh, me? Oh, I can't say I've been unlucky enough to have encountered any of them. I was inquiring about you, my dear detective. I'm sure it must be so tireless, so bothersome to be the only man who seems to have any awareness of what is going on around here.
So are you trying to get information out of Pettigrew? Are you trying to butter him up so that he does something for you? What's your angle here?
I'm trying to use my move, the dirt.
Nice. Can you tell us what the move says?
Sure. There's something about you that allows for people to just let loose around you. You can approach a side character with an offer for a bit of carousing, and I think as I am talking, I'm going to just sort of like reach into my cute little bag and pull out a little flask. Declare that they have imbibed too much around you and others, mark suspicion, and then roll with presence. On a hit, they divulge information on an active threat in the form of a clue, but will walk away from the experience with a hesitance to spend any more time with you. That's fair. And on a miss, it seems your ploy backfired and you ended up causing an inebriated mess after blacking out. Mark another suspicion and describe the aftermath of your success. On a 10+, not only does your party companion not remember any of this, but they assume it was their idea in the first place. Remove a suspicion.
I love it. Yeah, I think he looks like he's going to turn your offer down for a moment, but then he sort of sighs. It truly feels like it's been days since I've gotten on this ship, and weeks, even. I have not had a chance to relax at all.
I'm so sorry, Detective, and this was supposed to be a lovely vacation. Please, loosen your tie.
My first vacation in 5 years.
Sit down. Are you a whiskey man? If not, I do believe... Freddy! I think Freddy has some gin.
Gin would be lovely. Thank you.
Of course.
And yeah, I think you can make this roll. Let's see how it goes.
And because Freddy's helping me out on this, I'm going to mark another suspicion and
Mhm.
take this at advantage.
Absolutely, please do. Freddy makes a mean G&T.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And somehow has all of the stuff on his person to do it. Like,
Yeah.
it's really, really quite incredible.
Oh, she's like
I
rich,
love that
rich.
Freddy is elbow deep scrubbing a bathtub right now and just like Spider-Man senses that
I feel
are
like
being
Freddy also
called
goes
for-
through the vents.
Yeah, Freddy Freddy
That
followed.
was it.
What is
I
this?
was just
plus
gonna say, there's
presence?
like, you know how there's like, what are they called? Like dumb waiters or whatever? Like, I don't know what it is. The thing that, yeah, where you can like, there's somehow always one, and Freddy always pops out of it. It does not make sense.
Just fold it up and unspindles from it and goes, I'm here.
Freddy has the, what's that move from the between regular that the factotum has where you can just show up?
Yeah.
Oh,
His
you
That's
can
Friday.
try in any
My person,
scene.
yeah,
Yeah.
they're, yeah. Their
That's a
person Friday, yeah.
9.
9.
So I get a clue, but they are reluctant to spend any more time with me after our little rendezvous.
Yeah, I think he takes a sip of the G&T, and it is the most perfect G&T he's ever had. It's light, it is spritzy, the tonic is perfect. It has a slight maybe floral tinge to it, like elderflower. Oh, it's amazing.
A very good palate you have there, detective. It is indeed elderflower.
I think he ends up knocking it back really, really quickly.
Freddy, another.
And he knocks that one back as well. I think after a few more of these, because Freddy just keeps them coming,
And I'm just holding the same glass and not really drinking it.
he is slouching, not his normal, very upright posture. He is slouching, and his hat has taken a little bit of an askew. He does not look like a proper British gentleman anymore. And he chuckles.
What's so funny?
This ship, these strangers that are causing problems. I thought I'd gotten away from strangeness when I left London. Strange things happen in London, you know.
I have heard.
But there are strange things happening here. Did you know I found something odd? Something very strange. When I woke up this morning, and he's kind of stumbling slightly, slurring his words a little bit, getting ready for the day. And I found a trail of slime, just oozing gooey slime.
Oh my word.
I followed it down the hallway. I followed it up the stairs, out onto the deck, where it disappeared. Possibly in the rain. Possibly... No. Creatures don't disappear like that. But it was like the slime of a giant slug. But a slug that size I've never seen. And the clue you get is that there's trails of slime on the ship.
Fantastic.
And he is thinking back to this nasty trail of slime, and you see his face go green. And he... I'm sorry, ma'am. I do believe I have to take my leave. Perhaps...
Yes. Let's do
Perhaps-
this again sometime, shall we?
I do not think that is a good idea. he says. and
Very
he's
wise of
getting
you.
greener.
Yes, important to maintain a sober head. I will see you later, detective.
And he turns and all but runs out the room.
Well, that got us something, didn't it?
Dr. Pierce, you are trying to use this move that you saw in the notebook to stop Tully from attacking you. And I think it does in fact work. Do you want to describe what the move looks like?
Yeah, so
And what do you call it?
I call it "get the fuck off me,"
Good move.
and yeah, it is quite literally just a judo style a toss. The doppelganger's version involving hyperextending the elbow and shattering it, but Pierce obviously do no harm. Hooks the arm of the ones clutching around his throat, shifts his weight, and sends Tully flying into the wall.
I think as he hits the wall and sinks down just in a collapsed pile of limbs, he is heaving with heavy gasps. It was breathing. It was breathing. The iceberg was breathing. It was breathing. And that is your clue. Tully says the iceberg was breathing. He's okay, though. You didn't harm him. But he looks up at you, glassy-eyed. Doctor? Why would you hurt me like that? And his voice, it sounds like a voice from your past. Someone you can't quite remember. Like you've forgotten them, but you still remember how they sound. Doctor, I trusted you. How could you hurt me? How could you forget me?
Mr. Tully, you're talking crazy now. You and I ain't never met before. Hey, let's get you to lie down. I'll get something for the pain, something to help you sleep. Okay?
How are you feeling right now, Dr. Pierce?
Any time in the past that Pierce has interacted with someone or heard mention of something that he's forgotten before, there's and at this time he wouldn't know exactly what that sounds like. There is TV static. There is this dull, blurring noise in his ears, and he always attests it to the procedure that allowed him to tap into the strands, a side effect that they said didn't mean anything. It just meant the procedure worked. And so the second that voice hit his ears, the garbled static started up again. And he doesn't know why, but he really needs a cigarette right now.
I would like you to take the condition white noise.
That's what I call it when I hang out with my partner's family.
Elga, you have flipped the table in Flag's office. He looks at you, a completely unreadable expression on his face. And you look down at the mess that's been made. You see that the blue fabric, this velvet fabric that covered the desk, is now spiraled on the floor. And I will give you that mastermind clue for free. You have a spiral in blue fabric. But you also see that the iceberg has been protected by the little doll of you, and it landed safely. The Kronos, the miniature of the Kronos, landed very, very close to the iceberg. And you don't even have to look out the window to know that it is so, so close now. You could hear it screaming even louder. And you see behind the miniature of the iceberg are little models of different kinds of sharks. Strange sharks that wouldn't be in these waters. Strange sharks that, even out here in the cold, they wouldn't find anything to hunt. They seem to be following the iceberg. That is your clue for the iceberg, that sharks are following it. I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave now, Flag says to you.
Of course. I'm good for my word. I fix. And then I scoot around him and leave the room.
You hear the door lock behind you.
He's still like me.
Wes, I didn't write down what you were doing.
That's because I had just gotten a clue from that old bugger of a sailor who I'm pretty sure Patty Murphy, after he was done checking the line, left the greenhouse. We could just say that, like, immediately Carter, like, walked out and didn't see him anywhere. And then
I
is
feel like-
immediately... Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Take it
I
away.
feel like then at this point, this is a good time for everyone to meet up for the dusk phase. Does anyone
Yeah.
have a move that triggers in the dusk phase? I don't think so. But let me double check really quick. No, I don't think anyone has anything that triggers in the dusk
Nope.
phase.
Nope.
I think we are... Do we want to... Let me double check what we're doing, how we're doing on the threats. For the iceberg, we have a question. Why is the iceberg pursuing the Kronos? It is a complexity of 2, and we have 1 clue. No, we have 2 clues. We just got another one. That was the one that I just gave Susan, which was the sharks. Sharks following behind the iceberg.
We also have a couple of others. We have the iceberg
I haven't been putting them
breathes.
in, sorry.
No, it's okay.
The
It's okay.
ice is breathing. Iceberg breathing. So if you
Why
want
is
to...
this strange? I do not understand.
You might not understand because you're a rock person who also probably breathes? Question mark.
It's like, well, Miss Elga, I just want to let you know that though water is a very important part of biology, it itself does not exist as a life form. I'm sorry, I did not mean
Yes.
to doctor explain. I am so sorry.
Doctor's
Explain.
So I feel like if you want to try and take a stab at the iceberg, this might be a good moment to try for it. Otherwise, I don't remember. I haven't been keeping track of the clues. My apologies. I'm gonna double check and see if there are any. I believe we have a clue for the doppelgangers that I gave you. It was the slime.
It was the slime, but I think that's the only one
trail?
that we have.
Yeah. So we have a question that is a complexity 4 for the doppelgangers, which is where are the doppelgangers coming from? We have determined that they are there are 4 doppelgangers, and they are swapping out human skin suit that they have made.
Oh, are
is...
they?
Yeah.
Don't worry, it's nice and gross.
Yeah.
Could be anyone.
Timu Charlie, let's go.
Let's go. Maybe that'll happen in the night phase. Does anyone have a question or have a theory as to why the iceberg is pursuing the Kronos based on the 3 clues that Patty Murphy has too many hooks in his back, that there's sharks following behind the iceberg, and that the iceberg is breathing?
So, you know how sharks have those little fish that get on their undersides and they eat all the little bacteria and all the other fish that that the shark misses and everything, like they do the cleanup on the shark.
Yeah.
What if that's what this iceberg is? It's just a guppy. And that's how it feeds. Because like the shark's following like it's just it's just a circle of life. Come on now. It's like the people are on the ship. The iceberg eats what the people are tossing off and everything like that. The sharks eat what's around on the iceberg and everything. And then sometimes if you get a little bit lippy with it, so that's just the Patty Murphy with Patty Murphy with too many hooks in his back. Probably as a fisherman, probably got a hold of this creature while fishing and everything like that. And maybe he's just a ghost that's attached to this iceberg, and that's why he showed up on board this ship. A guy that would have never been on this ship before, or maybe he has. I don't know. But yeah, because he's just a soul that like died on the ship or anything. It could be a Captain Ahab situation. And then yeah, the circle of life. Sharks following behind the iceberg. It's just big. What is it? Star Wars Phantom Menace. There's always a bigger fish. That kind of thing, and that's just the
Yes.
process that we're within. So that means that if there's something that as big as us that this thing is following, there's got to be a bigger fish out there and everything. So it's just using us as protection even more so. Because it's
saying you should
alive, and
need
then
a bigger
iceberg
boat?
breathing. Yeah, we're gonna need a bigger boat. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm for it. I was gonna say that was 3 fishisms like all together. We had a Moby Dick reference, we had a Jaws reference. Obviously, very important nautical film, Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace.
Ships
Yeah.
are involved.
Yes, yeah, ships are involved.
So the
I
question is, why is the iceberg pursuing the Chronos? And our answer is, it's just its nature.
It's just its nature.
What does it? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it's
because it was
hungry.
there.
This thing
Oh,
just
it's
happens.
hungry. Good.
Yeah,
It's hungry.
yeah,
hungry.
it's like a scavenger looking for a free meal, you know?
Okay. So do
I
you think that it's screaming as like it's trying to like, what am I trying to say? Elga wants to know why it's screaming. Why is it screaming? That's
maybe
not a
it's like
part of the
it's
question.
maybe it's like a when
Is that one of
toddlers
our
are
clues?
cranky and hungry.
No,
No.
it just is
Oh.
screaming.
It's just screaming. Okay, that's great.
I was gonna say, you've never just had that day.
You know when you're
You know,
hangry?
yeah.
Brother,
I'm just saying, you know when you
Okay.
sit in your car
Okay.
and
Asked and
that
answered.
door
Okay.
that
Okay.
door shuts and you just scream.
Okay.
Because if you're not going to, who is?
I like that. I like this.
We gotta-
I like this theory. Does anybody have any adjustments to it or amendments?
Let's do it. Why not?
All right.
The
Susan,
answer
since
is
you weren't here for the last answer a question, would you like to roll this one?
Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Go
okay.
forth.
Both of them?
So you are rolling with +1.
You've got this. This is all you.
Let's go, Susan.
That's a 9 with the
take it.
+1.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Fabulous. So things are going to be a little tricky to resolve, and you can resolve the threat by determining what the iceberg is and finding a way to prevent the iceberg from crashing into the Chronos. Now we've determined that the iceberg is just an iceberg, and it's just hungry. It's just following its nature. It's following a trail of food, and the sharks are following it because they're also hungry, and everyone's just real hungry. No, I'm hungry. Okay. So we answered a question. Make sure that you remember that. I guess it doesn't really matter. We get XP. It's not going to really matter about anything now. Oh, that's sad.
Boo.
Can I pose a solution?
What do you think the solution is? What do you want to try?
Well, there's no way to stop it traditionally. It's hungry. We gotta give it something else to follow, right?
Yeah,
Right?
that sounds reasonable. What do you
Right?
suggest?
So all I need to do is go back into that office and find a bigger ship figurine and put that next to the iceberg, and the magic will fix it all. Right?
That can't possibly go wrong in any way.
Now,
Sure.
somebody else help me come with a
I
come up with
got
a
your back.
solution.
You fucking Carter pulled up the gun.
Carter's
I
like,
got your back.
"Absolutely."
Absolutely.
Well,
I
As
do
just
we
think
we
maybe y'all
can
head,
could use me for a lot of things. Just waving the gun around. I think you just use me
well,
for a lot of things. I'm very useful.
can we stop it? Because what do you
Yeah.
guys think? Can we stop it, or do we just make it go away,
Yeah.
follow someone else?
I feel like that sounds like an absolutely reasonable. It's just its nature. It's like an animal. I mean, it's not an animal, but it's a natural phenomenon. So
The only other thing I could think, if we're gonna go through the bigger ship logic, is and then Carter will just pull out like a couple of like fishing lures
oh, you are
that he
gonna
got
need a
from,
bigger boat. Yay!
and then just like what if like we just hung these on the, like you're saying there's like a tiny iceberg in this man's office and it's affecting reality. I don't understand that kind of shit. So it's H.G. Wells stuff, but it's okay. It's all right. But if we took like fishing lures and hung them on the iceberg, is that going to turn it into like some kind of like freaky deaky like weirder monster, or that will like drag it down? You know, almost like weights, like lure, like weighted lures on it. Will it drag it down to the ocean, to the depths, and keep it just down there, and we could just keep on going, and
Ooh,
we don't have to get anybody else in trouble?
if they are real weights, like if it's
Mm.
regular fishing hook, I think it'd be horrifying. But if they are
Mm.
weighted, I think
Mhm.
it might work.
Mhm.
So we've got
Mm.
a plan and a backup plan. It sounds like.
Fantastic.
Mhm.
I'm still stuck on the fact that I know this man here has never read anything by H.G. Wells. Name a single title.
Uh, the time guy. I don't know.
The
Like I saw the picture.
All
the
right.
man you cannot see.
The man you cannot see.
Don't no.
That's
That
that's
means
one of my favorites.
that wasn't it wasn't an invitation to help him, Elga.
What?
Oh,
I
All
Good
said
right,
job,
nothing.
Elga.
ballast
No, you
class.
did great.
Let's focus.
Sorry.
Okay. So we're gonna set up the night phase here. I would like everybody to tell me what they want to try and do this last night phase. We've got a plan to stop the iceberg from crashing into the Chronos. I imagine that Carter and Elga, you were trying to enact that plan.
The first thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna find the Viscountess
my
and
God.
back her into a corner and tell her to sing to me.
What is with everyone cornering me nowadays?
So violent. I'm kind of here for it.
Carter,
I was-
sing!
Sing.
I'm mad at Amanda. I'm sorry.
I mean,
I love
a lot
that.
of people are mad at me.
I just love this idea of us all leaving and then immediately Elga stopping Charlie. Sing for me. Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Because we are in such a short form, like kind of game, I'm totally here for people trying to do vulnerable moves in the night phase. If you want to try for it, you're
No,
welcome to try.
at this point, it's just fan service to the people who are watching, so we do not need to do a vulnerable
It's okay.
move. Let's go break
Maybe in the
into
epilogue.
let's go break into
Yeah, if I
Admiral
live.
Flag's office.
It's okay.
Um,
No one here wants to hear
Viscountess
me sing.
Burgundy. That is not true. We all know that you're an incredible singer, and performer, and awesome at everything that you do.
Thanks.
What would you like to do today, or in this night phase, Viscountess?
I don't know. That's a great question.
I can give you some.
Percy, what are you thinking?
Leads.
I kind of want to. I mean, I have the condition marked by flag, so it's like I kind of want to make use of that and like be part of mission stop the iceberg.
Maybe you can be the distraction.
Yeah, in case that helps be a thing. Oh, that's a good point. Someone's got to keep flag out of the office.
Feel like you've got a plan.
Maybe,
Yeah.
yeah. Pierce, what are you thinking?
I know, because I'm back and forth, and we still got to find out where the fuck these doppelgangers coming from.
I know.
And
You also haven't. You've heard that there have been some rumors of people acting very strangely in the second class lounge, which you have not checked out yet. I know, second class, right?
Yeah, because that's my thing is I feel as though we need to get moving on the doppelganger situation as well.
Lit the party.
So what if yeah, I
That's
was like, yeah,
true.
I know. Again, we can try to two birds one stone this, but
Yeah.
we could cause a distraction in the second class round, but I don't know how that's gonna distract Mr. Flag.
I mean, if we say we're trying to do that, then Amanda has to try to make it happen for us.
It's the night phase. Belongs to me. I can do whatever I want.
Yeah, we can tell you what we're trying to do.
Yeah.
I'm here for it.
Yeah, because
All
that's what
right.
I was gonna say. I was like, what if I? Yeah, it's like I'll take the little mouse over here, and we'll cause some kind of trouble up in second class. I'm sure. While doing so, I can pick up a few things and listen. You two take care of whatever you have to in that office, but get in, get out, and be safe.
I got
I
one
think-
question. So I'm a little bird and she's a little mouse. What does that make you?
No, you a mouse.
I'm a mouse.
Yeah, no,
I'm
that's
a
shoo.
bird. Elga called me a bird.
Oh, she.
That's
Oh,
shoo
Oh,
shoo.
who can remember?
You're calling me. Oh my goodness. I remember. It's real to me.
yeah. I never called you that. Not once. Not never. Also, you getting pet names from Miss Elga. Okay. Oh, he's gonna like put his arm around your shoulder. He's like, tell me more.
Okay. Well, you know a walnut?
Excuse me.
You know if you try to crack a walnut with your hand really hard, it won't do anything.
Yeah.
Miss Elga could crack a walnut with 2 fingers, I'm pretty sure. And I just think that's amazing.
Yes.
Oh, Elga,
she
you're
is.
back. Sorry, yeah, we didn't know that. We're just getting ready for the plan and everything. Just gonna help out.
Shockingly quiet for such a large lady.
All right.
Okay, so now it sounds like Carter and Pierce are doing the second class lounge.
Yes.
Okay.
That's what it sounds like. Carter and Pierce are doing the second class lounge,
Okay.
and Viscountess Burgundy and Elga are going to go to
Flag's office.
Flag's office.
Again, unless you want to switch roles, but again, you're marked by Flag, so it's makes sense.
I do, but if you are in risk of dying, you better fucking magic your way to my side, baby. I'm not missing it for anything.
Shit.
All right. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Welcome to the night phase, everyone. We are going to do our unseen, our final unseen. The Vasa, 1628. The morning of August 10 was a fair and bright day. Gulls could be heard echoing off the canvas sails off the ships amassed at Skepsgarden shipyard in what's now known as Stockholm. A tri-masted altar to Dutch grotesquerie ruptures the sky. The Vasa is the latest testament to Swedish naval dominance commissioned by the King of Sweden, Gustavus Adolphus. Sweden is currently at war with Poland, Lithuania, and King Adolphus has demanded to have a vessel that would lay waste to his enemies across the sea. The Vasa is that very altar to destruction, that very vessel. A towering galleon with 24 guns, a full rainbow of paint scattered across the hull, and an armada of sails catching every stiff breeze. The wind catches the Vasa at a slight diagonal angle and it begins to teeter. It rights itself. Catches a gust of northeasterly wind and begins to capsize in port. The first unseen prompt is going to be for Wes. The second is for Percy. The third is for Susan. And the fourth is for Kim. I think we'll take a 2-minute break so people can read their prompts and come up with how they want to start, and so that I can see what I want to decide what I want to do for the night phase. If people don't mind, we'll come back in just 2 minutes.
All right. Welcome back, everyone, to the night phase.
Wes, do you want to kick us off with the first prompt?
Absolutely. So, as the Vasa begins to capsize, the Royal Admiral feels his stomach roil and knock with each gurgle of the water below deck. How does he embarrass himself and his king as panic begins to rise like the waves lapping up the ship? We can see this man in a gaudy powder blue uniform with gold epaulets with tassels on them. He's got a ridiculously gaudy helmet with a gold plumage. It's like gold plumage and engraving on it. It's got a multitude of horses and men on horses with spears and swords and everything. It's ridiculous. And he is so red in the face that it completely just showcases his white mustache as it's billowing and spittles coming from his mouth as he's screaming and screaming and screaming to help him, to save him, to save him. And he's grabbing every single bit of sailor and like pushing them forward to kind of help him. And then as he tries to as they try to grab him and say, "Yes, sir, of course, we don't want you to cut under," they try to toss him overboard so that he can go ahead and be saved. And he says, "Of course not, of course not. I don't know how to swim. I don't know how to swim. What are you doing? You can't just throw me overboard. I don't know how to swim, you fools." And he starts slapping their hands, and it's taking up too much precious time as each time he tries to fight back against one of his own sailors trying to save his life, the ship sinks further and further beneath the surface.
We cut away from our 4 ballast class heroes back into Flag's office. The table, the desk has been righted. The iceberg no longer appears on the table. There's still the 3 ships, the Hyperion, the Chronos, the Oceanus. Flag stands with his back towards the room. He is silhouetted by the night, the moon, the bright full moon flooding light in through the window. And we see that he is standing with his back to 4 dark figures. And he says, "My servants, tonight is the night. We must send all of the souls of the Chronos down to the depths. We must resurrect the goddess. She will be pleased, I hope, when we release her from Hades, despite the fact that we lost the RMS Hyperion. We still have all of the souls sent down from the Oceanus. The Chronos will also be enough, hopefully, I'm certain, to open the gates. Charybdis will rise again, and she will grant us whatever we wish in her waves." And we hear quiet mumbling assents as a door opens and the 4 figures leave the room. I would like to cut to the second class lounge. Deep navy blue wallpaper lines the walls, and brass-trimmed candle holders illuminate the space. The bar is a horseshoe-shaped hunk of wood with 2 draft spigots and a variety of spirits available to purchase. Unlike the first-class lounge, they're not free. Mirrors line around the room except for one wall that has a dartboard. Paint the scene for everyone.
Finally!
I knew you were going to react like that. Paint the scene for everyone. What blood-chilling rumors has the bartender heard?
Uh, the bartenders heard that if you go down to the seventh door on the right-hand side of this floor, and you knock 7 times. The last person you said "I love you" to can be heard speaking from the other side, and they are in mortal peril.
It's horrifying.
The bartender has heard tale of a young man who is a second-class passenger who purports to be the long-lost heir of a wealthy woman that is staying in the first-class suites, claiming that the woman is actually an imposter, and he means to prove it once and for all.
I know what you are too. I know what you people are doing. I'll do a little fun one. It's still blood curdling, but did you know? I heard that the captain. This was the first time the captain had ever captained a ship before. Captain didn't even know how to swim. That's why the captain went down so easily. Just glug 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 all the way down to the bottom.
God, I was muted. At a certain time of night, you can hear a dog barking on the ship. But don't try to follow it.
Oh, that's ominous.
Oh,
But that's exactly what I want to do when I hear a dog.
I know.
Say no.
Don't do it. Don't do it.
Carter, Dr. Pierce, you step into the second class lounge and it is empty. There is not a soul inside this room. The staff are gone. The passengers are gone. There's drinks upended as if people have just left en masse for some reason. And from the other side of the room, you see 2 figures step forward, illuminated by the candlelight. One looks just like you, Dr. Pierce, and his smile is cold. He swings a scalpel in his hand, almost nonchalantly. The other looks just like you, Carter, but he is filthy. He is covered in dirt. You can barely see his skin, his clothes through it. All you can see is his eyes, burning bright, blazing brightly. The other Dr. Pierce begins to laugh. Over in Admiral Flagg's office, how do you intend to cause a distraction? How do you intend to get into the office, Viscountess Burgundy and Elga?
Do we need to cause a distraction to get into the office? Is Flag currently in the office?
The door is closed.
That's no problem. I have lockpicks.
I think, yeah, if you want to try and open the door, I don't even think that's a move. I think that's not that interesting to make it a move. I'm gonna say if you open the door and walk in, the room is completely dark. Doesn't seem to be anyone in there.
All right.
How did he get a new desk so fast?
Darling, people of the upper classes, they can simply just get things faster than everyone else.
Not that you would know, you hear a voice from behind you. And you turn to see a young woman who looks just like you, but she is perfect, immaculate. Every facial flaw, every freckle that you have, not on her, completely missing. She is perfection version of you. And next to her, hulking and giant, is a creature of rock and lava. It shakes as it chuckles, and the whole room seems to shake with it. You're not exactly upper crust now, are you, dear?
That may be true, but I don't know what the fuck you are.
I'm you that you wish you could be, but never could. And this rock creature, this other Elga, this monstrosity that towers over the both of you, steps forward, a large fist clenching, ready to smash right into your face, Elga. We're going to cut now to our second unseen. Percy, would you like to introduce it for us, please?
The shipwright hasn't moved a single muscle as he watches on from the pier. He can feel every eye bore holes into his very soul. How does he attempt to make his escape, knowing it might be futile? This man is tethered to this pier, watching as this boat capsizes in front of him, a boat he had a hand in creating, and he whispers to himself, "Not possible. It's not possible. I was perfect. It was perfect. I was perfect." I was, and in hysterics, makes a beeline in the opposite direction of the wreckage, smashing into a group in front of him, dragging himself over them, screaming, calling out that I was perfect. I was perfect. I made this perfect. There's no way this is happening. And fails to see the plank of wood directly in front of him, being carried by someone else who whirled around trying to escape, that smashes into his eye and sends him hurtling off the side of the pier. Another piece of a ship that was going to be perfect.
The other Dr. Pierce steps forward, not menacingly, almost jovially. You know, Doctor, you're going to forget her too. You do know that, right?
Into that, Pierce starts rolling up his sleeves. If I know one thing about Charlie, she is one of the most unforgettable women I have ever met.
Like your mother. Oh,
And then the
my
static
apologies.
the static kicks in when he mentions mother. And he touches a cheek, touches his eye and feels a tear.
You're incomplete, dear Doctor. You will never be put back together again. I, on the other hand, I have no need of these memories. They're not mine. I know them, but I don't need them. I could give them up like that. I have no holds on this world. Nothing can be leveraged against me. Unlike you. Although I suppose with time you'd become like me.
Yeah. I guess in time I could be a fucking abomination.
The
Doc, do you mind? This seems very tense. Do you mind? This is pretty fucked up, in my opinion, and I think that, well, since there's two of you, and you seem to be talking a lot of shit, and you seem to be pretty upset about it, right, Doc?
Most assuredly.
Well, I think there's the only fair way is for this to be a fair up, straight up scrap. So, and he's just gonna pull the revolver and shoot his own doppelganger. And I'm gonna mark around for an automatic 12 plus.
holy shit!
Just right between the eyes, and he's not even gonna look at him. He's just gonna shoot him, and then just with the gun out, he's gonna say, "The way I see it, you two need to scrap this out. See which one of you's, Dr. Prime. So I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna walk over to the bar. I'm gonna grab a pint, and I'm gonna hit, like with the gun. I'm gonna hit one of the flagon handles. I'm gonna pour a pint. I'm gonna sit here, and I'm gonna let the doctor beat the shit out of you. I don't know who the fuck you are. You look like him, but you know how to handle this. Just carry on. Don't mind me. I'll just be watching. Sit down.
Wow. Okay. Back over in Flag's office.
Oh God, you
Hell
made
yeah.
her segue.
That's a fucking that's a bro right there.
All right.
Charlie,
Maybe
I'm
you
sorry.
could
He's invited to our wedding. forgot to mention we're getting a happy ending as soon as I murder myself.
Absolutely, yeah. He can stay in the bathroom of our honeymoon suite.
That's right. Hey, you don't even have to get an extra room. You don't even I can stay in the bathtub. All good.
So, Elga, this monstrosity, this other Elga that is the you that, if you had never cared about any other being, that's what this would be. And it is coming at you, ready to smash you into pebbles. What would you like to do?
Ugh. Is the other Charlie attacking my Charlie? Is this happening simultaneously?
This is happening simultaneously. She is still goading other Charlie.
Okay.
Real Charlie.
In this room, we have a desk. We have the door that we came in through, which is where those two are. Is there anywhere else in this room? What else is in this room?
I think there's some fictional positioning. There are various, filing cabinets with I don't know, drawers for documents. There's probably a bookshelf full of nautical books and maybe some strange myths. There is likely a chamber room with a toilet for the use of the person who owns the office for Flag's use. It probably has a little powder room next to it because he's very fancy. There's a small cot. He probably sleeps in his office because he's a nerd.
He's a weirdo.
Yeah.
I'm gonna glance at my Charlie and say, you have new accent. Do you have new fighting too? Can you fight?
No, darling.
Okay. Bathroom. Now.
Aye, yes, ma'am.
Quick ladies trip to the bathroom.
And I'm gonna trust her to go over there. And I would like to activate. I don't know why I did this.
Yeah.
Hulk punch.
Boom.
Hell yeah.
Activate your
I
Hulk
would like
fist.
to. I'm gonna. This is it, guys. I'm gonna activate the last box. The last box on my elemental track. Because I am the new Colossus, not whatever this thing is. So I would like to MMA fight whatever this is.
I think that sounds fantastic. So when you mark your box, that gives you an advantage. This is going to be vitality. This is, in fact, a night move. What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail?
I don't want anything to happen to Charlie. I'm gonna go down. Oh no, so sad. And then Charlie's gonna get fucking fried up or stomped or whatever. Like, I'm not gonna be able to help.
It's worse than that. This
How?
Oh, really?
colossal version of you that has no feeling, no remorse, no regrets, no love will destroy the engines of the ship and sink it all to the bottom of the ocean, and everyone will be gone with it.
Can I? Oh dear. Okay.
You
So I
can
know
back down.
I don't want to back down necessarily. I want to reframe what's happening because I
Mhm.
was the move, the new Colossus. You have the strength of 10 men combined. I can manipulate items made of stone. I can also hurl objects as large as a man, cause a hailstorm of coal.
Oh my god.
There's more. There's more to it. So that's what I would like to do. Like, I imagine I am still punching like myself or whatever, but I would like to when I activate this, I would like dark clouds to gather above the ceiling of this place, and I would like for it to just fucking rocket down pieces of stone into this room. Um, to injure fake me, which it might not do as much, but also to injure that bitch that is not Charlie. Okay.
I love it. Yeah,
I'm,
let's do
I'm
this roll with
perfect. Look at my nose. Shut up.
I have a great nose.
I
let's do
know.
this roll with vitality.
Okay. And just so the audience knows, my vitality can go up to 4
Woo.
because of my playbook. Nobody else can go up to 4. So let's see here. That's 10.
Fantastic. And while this is happening, Charlie, what are you doing? You've been ordered to the bathroom.
I have been, yes. And it looks like my doppelganger might not be an issue for very much longer. So that's great. So I suppose what I'm trying to do in the middle of this freaking coal storm is try to, like, get eyes on the iceberg model or whatever it was we were coming in here to do. Elga told
Yes.
me that we had to find like a bigger ship and put it down on the model or drag the existing iceberg model down with heavy weights, and I'm trying to find anything that moderately resembles that. I've never been in this office before.
I think, yeah, you find the iceberg model has been moved to the side of the desk. It is not near the ship anymore, but you can see that it is slowly making its way back towards the ship as you watch. And other Charlie crosses her arms and says, "Are you really going to try it, sweetheart?
Try what, darling?
Whatever little plan you have in your brain."
You're goddamn right I am.
Good luck. You see,
I don't need luck,
not
darling.
only
I've made my own.
and you've done a superb job of it. And she gives you a real bitchy up and down look.
You talk a lot of sass for someone who ain't actually anything. Why don't you go ahead and
What do
unzip that?
you-
It doesn't fit you.
I think with that, she does launch herself towards you, her nails out. You see that they are long and pointed and painted in a pearlescent color.
Fantastic. I am going to, in like the bullet time that this is happening, right before she launched herself at me, I'm gonna say, I'm also afraid you never counted quite right, darling. There's one more person here. And Freddy comes fucking swinging in out of nowhere and clocks this bitch across the head. And then I want to take the strange lump of coal that I got and shove it into this bitch's mouth. I don't know, it's spooky ghost coal. We'll see what happens.
Coal on the outside, coal on the inside. You got to imagine her perfect little meh, and she's like getting hit with pieces of rock.
Clocked. No one did a doppelganger of Freddy. Big mistake.
That is true. There are only 4 doppelgangers. You've established that. This is a night move, and I think it is with composure.
Fantastic.
If you have anything in your footlocker that will give you more, you can't get double advantage. You get advantage because of Freddy, right?
Yeah, I mean, I either get advantage because of Freddy or I get advantage because I'm using the strange lump of coal. Either way, it's advantage.
You get advantage. Double. It doesn't stack, sadly, but it does in our hearts.
Yeah.
So give us that roll with composure.
Do you want to ask me what I'm afraid of first?
Oh, of course. What are you afraid of? I'm just really excited. I'm like too excited.
No, I feel you. I feel you very deeply. I'm afraid that Timu Charlie is gonna launch herself at me, and I'm going to lose track of the iceberg model, and something bad is gonna happen to it, and that's gonna have disastrous effect.
It's worse than that. Not only do you lose track of the iceberg model and the iceberg hits the ship, but it hits the ship right where this office is, destroys everyone in it, including Freddy and Elga.
No.
I love putting everyone in trouble because whatever, I don't care. And you get washed away into the frigid waters.
Great. Ooh, yay! That's an 11.
Good roll. Back over in the second class lounge. Now that I've had a moment to recover from Carter just straight up murdering his doppelganger.
Fucking awesome.
Which
So
was rad
good.
as hell.
What a fun
I think,
move.
yeah,
No, it's a success.
we see
I don't need to roll.
other Carter lying on the ground, just mid laugh, bullet wound right smack in the center of the forehead, like perfect targeting. And we have Carter sitting and having a drink, and we have the 2 Dr. Pierces both rolling up their sleeves. How do you want to do this, Dr. Pierce? Real Dr. Pierce?
I am thinking back to the last time we tussled, and I recognize the fact that he mirrors me. And even though right now I see fucking red, I've taken in my surroundings, and I'm gonna let him think that he can shit talk me a little bit more as we circle. And then I'm gonna try to get him to trip over the corpse of the newly dead doppelganger. And when that moment happens where he stumbles, I'm gonna jump him.
How are you trying to get him to trip over this corpse? Are you sort of doing like fancy moves? Are you just trying to stare him down? Are you trying to psych him out?
I am essentially trying to keep my head while letting him continue to insult me. Like I'm intentionally, I'm gonna say, like, the second I'm gonna be like, I told you I am done forgetting about the people I care about. You're not taking them away from me. And then,
And what good are you for?
I'm a doctor. I'm
And
supposed to help people.
I think this is also a night move. This is going to be with composure. What are you afraid is going to happen if you do not succeed at this?
I am afraid that if me and Carter don't stop him here, something bad's going to happen to Charlie and Helga.
It's worse than that. He will have a target on Charlie's back, and he will stop at nothing to ensure that she goes down with this ship.
And gonna make it a little bit more romantic because I do have an item in my footlocker I think could help me. If you'll allow me.
Absolutely. What do you have? What do you got? What's going on? That's
I have perfectly preserved flowers from the maestro's birthday party. I swiped them intentionally with the idea of giving them to Charlie. And that was before our rendezvous on the other boat. He has had his eyes on her since the moment she's been on this boat. And so as the insults are being hurled, the only thing in Pierce's mind, not a desire for the past that was lost, but a future that he can create.
Let's get this roll with composure and
God.
advantage.
That is a 12, my loves.
Yay!
That's a fucking 12.
Oh my god, you better
are
fucking
all
live.
killing it.
I'm gonna fucking so 10 plus 2, 12, not flat 12. Shit. And my other thing was a 1, so thanks advantage for nothing.
So you are having this drink, Carter, and out of the corner of your eye, you see movement from one of the other doors. You see Flag run down a hallway. You hear screams on the ship. And it starts to shift towards the port side. What would you like to do? You can have a drink. You can just sit there and drink. Play some darts.
I feel that, and I'm like, oh, and then sip it as like the liquid is like turning and everything like that as it's like tilting, and then like seeing you like as you like trip up like as you're getting ready to fight and everything like that. God damn it! Always want to just don't beat him up too bad. Just wait until I get back. I want to see you kick his ass. You fight dirty, and just like. I'm gonna like run out into the hallway and I'm gonna look towards where Flag ran past.
Yeah, you see corridors that lead down to the engine room. You are familiar enough with the ventilation and such on the layout of this ship that you know that's where he is going.
Yeah, I think yeah, I will mark another use of where. I can only do that once per session. So
I'll let you do it again. Who cares?
Why
Okay,
not?
you've done it once.
Who gives
Yeah,
a fuck?
It's
Let's
the
do
finale,
cool
baby.
stuff.
It's the
But
finale.
I think
Let's go.
I think is like is in between an interstitial. You see immediately taking like the shirt that they had found for Carter that wasn't the tuxedo, but like it's like a Henley, and like just like takes it off. And then just starts like crawls in through the ventilation shaft. So there's like, and then like takes the shoes off as well. And then starts creeping through. So there's just the pants, and has the gun out and everything. Starts creeping through, and then falls down into the engine room. And there's like hissing and everything, and it's dark. And then just to add a little bit to Shadow Boxer, looks over, and there's just like there's like one of the pistons pumping into an engine and everything, and there's a bunch of like black goop that's just collected on it and everything. And he just walks over and then just scoops it up and then just starts like rubbing it on his form, like on his pale form and everything like that. To just kind of just get the full on grease. We're going predator style.
I love it.
And I'm gonna try to hunt this motherfucker. I don't know who he is, but
But he's
I know he's
bad,
bad
and you
news.
know
He's
it.
bad news. He's bad news.
How many action movie references can we get? Please
Yeah,
keep going.
all of them. All of them.
Susan, can you please introduce the next unseen?
Oh,
Or unseen prompt.
Right, this other thing we're doing.
the sailors stuck below the deck in the holds scream themselves hoarse to be let out. What priceless treasures are they clinging onto for support as the briny black fills their wretched lungs? There is only one access point that goes up in the ship. What a poor design. So these people trapped below decks, whose exit upwards has been blocked, are running through the bottom of the ship as we see it listing on its side and slowly sinking. The room farthest forward towards the stairs going up, the stairs that are blocked, is a chapel. Because, of course, the ship would have a chapel on it. And that is where the men congregate and they pound on the portholes and they scream and they cling to the gilded paintings of Mary and her child and the golden cross that has fallen over onto its side and the books that are supposed to save their souls will hopefully do so as they're clutched in arms of the dying men.
Charlie, please describe how you completely destroy your doppelganger.
Freddy bursts into the office, true action hero style. They're also doing like a million 80s action movies right now. They burst in. They're like dodging the sort of rain of coal that is happening inside of this enclosed room. They see their bestie Charlie being accosted by someone who is not Charlie and just like cold clock this imposter across the head. The doppelganger falls to the ground. Charlie straddles the doppelganger and with her nails starts raking across this woman's face and peeling it back so that she can see the monster that's underneath. And then I want to pick up her head and just keep slamming it into the floor of this office.
What does the doppelganger look like underneath?
I imagine this kind of just like gray, featureless, just like flesh thing.
Gross.
Yeah. Yeah, it is.
Just covered in goo,
Yeah.
obviously.
Flails ineffectively at you, trying to scratch, trying to grab, trying to pull anything that it can do to stop you from tearing its skin off like that.
Oh yeah. Like visually, the like all the necklace around my neck like goes diamonds everywhere.
And all of this while you're being showered in hot coals. And of course, the last thing you do is shove that piece of coal into the open orifice that is the mouth of this doppelganger, and it chokes and chokes until it cannot move or breathe or function anymore. Elga, describe how you destroy your doppelganger.
There's a transformation that happens to Olga, which I think Charlie and Freddy will see at the very end, tail end of it. Earlier, we had seen Elga's skin go gray and cracked, her eyes go dark, black, smoking as though lit from inside. But there is. I have used up all of my humanity. I have used up everything that I have in me at this moment. And so I become the most unadulterated form of myself. And we see a bipedal creature that is made of stone, but it is not this like lava thing in front. It is a moving combination of stone. It is agate and slate and basalt and opal, just these long slabs of it. And it is not as tall as Elga is in her human form, and it is moving gracefully in the air as though it is in water, and it is slicing, not in the way that Elga would punch, but it is actually slicing at this creature in front of her, and it picks away like it is slicing something that is softer than it. And it just slices and picks and slices and dives and floats and picks in this strange kind of dance until the lava monster in front of it is just teetering pieces, attempting to swing at it as it moves around in the air.
I think with one last hit, the doppelganger monster shatters into a trillion little pieces. And the coal that you have raining down batter those pieces into even smaller pieces until all you're surrounded by is black sand.
Jesus, Elga. I knew you were a special lady, but I had no idea you were capable of all this.
Her arms kind of fold in, so they're not arms anymore. It's like a long rectangle on top of two legs. And there's no mouth anymore, but it is clearly looking at you. And it says, "You remind me of my name when I wake up."
Absolutely, darling.
And make sure Carter fine.
That's for sure.
And this rectangle bends and kind of folds in on itself, almost like Legos. And then it is this almost like a pyramid of rock on the ground. And it's just there and quiet and inert.
I think you can take this opportunity, Charlie, to move the iceberg so that it's following the HMS Hyperion instead.
I will.
Dr. Pierce, how do you destroy your doppelganger?
By fighting fucking dirty. The
He
second that
trips over that corpse just like you wanted him to. And the surprise, the look on his face, the surprise that you managed to get the better of him, he who is so much better than you. For a moment, you see that flicker of recognition in his eyes.
and immediately, as our eyes meet, Pierce is already in motion, and he grabs at the arm that is holding the scalpel and slams it down, and then with his own scalpel stabs it through the hand, pinning him to the wall, or into the floor rather, and putting all of his weight onto the back. He grabs the back of the doppelganger's head and starts smashing it into the floor. My name is Alonzo Xavier Pierce Jr. You are not fucking me. And then continues to hammer his head into the floor, repeating over and over and over again until there's just gray mush and brain matter smashed before him. And gasping for breath for one moment, Pierce doesn't feel tired anymore. Carter. Where the He didn't see that. He didn't see that.
Dead Carter did. Don't worry.
That
Big
guy,
Carter's proud.
might want to get that looked at. You got something right there.
Down in the engine room, in the dark, the pistons running, the steam hissing, the heat is unbearable. The door opens and you see Flag step in. What do you do, Carter?
I gotta assess and see what this motherfucker's doing. Because there might be a way that I can get out of this and get off this boat okay without having to kill him, but he looks like an asshole. I've heard he's an asshole.
You can feel the ship tilting even more to port, and you see Flag adjust his balance so that he's leaning starboard so that he could walk straight and tall and proud towards the engine, where he pushes a lever, and you see the fires get hotter as the engine revs up to go faster and faster and faster. And you know, because you've been on the decks, and you know, because you've been on the Hyperion, if I recall correctly,
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
that he is turning the ship so that it crashes directly into the RMS Hyperion, taking them both down. He dusts his hands.
Long day of work there, bucko, huh?
He looks around in the dark. He can't see you.
Aren't you just so proud of yourself?
Is that you, Carter? Oh, should I have used one of your other names?
Take a gander. Carter's fine.
Doesn't really matter. A rat like you. Makes sense that you will die in the bowels of a ship. Born in the gutter, die in the gutter.
Yeah. I reckon it was always meant for somebody like me to end up like this. But, what does that say about you? Ending up dead in the bowels of a ship. And I'm gonna leap from behind him. I've been scurrying around different pipes, and I'm just gonna leap from behind him and try just knock him down to the ground.
This is a night move with vitality.
Ratman.
Come on, Ratman.
I do roll with advantage because of Shadow Boxer.
You sure do.
It's King of the Rats.
What are
it's the
you
Rat King.
afraid? What are you afraid is going to happen if you fail or lose your nerve?
That motherfucker's gonna beat my ass and embarrass me.
Embarrassment. Okay, that's the worst thing.
That's the worst that can happen.
Yeah, start low.
It's worse than that. He is going to push you into the furnace, and you will be the first soul sacrificed in his great plan.
Damn, you can't show up to the party first. That is worse. Okay. All right, with vitality.
Yes, please. Vitality. Vitality.
Vitality. Okay. So that is with advantage. That's a 5 and a 3. With my vitality is a +3. So that's an 11.
Here we go.
Hell yes.
Please describe how you destroy Adonia's flag.
Just to be a little cheeky fucker, since the kids are going to be getting a good ending, I'm going to go ahead and mark the blood soak portal to bring it up to a 12 plus.
No, you little
I fucking
bit-
knew it.
Let's fucking go.
fucking knew
Going to
it.
get you. I'm going to get you. Come closer. Come
I
closer.
am-
Okay, Wes, do you want to we can cut to the unseen if you want to think about this for a
I
moment.
fucking knew it.
Absolutely.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
Kim, could you please you absolutely you get a 12 plus. You will not only will you take down Flag, his plans are destroyed. You save the entire ship. All of you have saved the ship. Kim, can you please introduce the next unseen prompt?
Sure. The king awaits with his royal attendants and queen upon a gilded pillory, while his citizens gawk in awe at the burnished galleon being swallowed by the bay. What excuses are made by those around him as to why the ship would sink? How does he react? It is a series of quiet conversations. The king motions for one of his attendants to go over and whispers a few quiet sentences in his ear. A few moments pass. And then there is a commotion as the guards, led by that attendant, pull a body from the palace. In secret, a serving man that bared a slight resemblance to the royal admiral that has now been slaughtered and dressed in his clothes. And a story appears. The rear admiral had been killed, had been replaced by an enemy from Poland who was dead set on sinking the Vasa. Obviously.
That's like an echo for the entire game.
Basically.
That's so good.
Incredible.
Oh my god.
Now, I would like to cut to epilogues. Who would like to go first? Describe what is happening maybe the next day on the ship, maybe when you get into port, maybe years later. Tell us about what your life is like. Tell us how things are going, how it feels after you've saved the lives of everyone still alive on the RMS Kronos. Let me stall for another minute or two to give you a moment to think.
I
then-
wasn't expecting like major epilogue. My God.
I know. I was like, oh my god, because I was gonna say that the next day I'm very sad that Carter's dead and Pierce feels personally responsible. So there's gonna be that couple days of
Yeah.
You
feeling
all
like an
rolled
asshole.
so good.
He was gonna
Yeah.
go to our
You
wedding.
deserve good epilogues.
Yeah.
It is an overcast day in Chicago, which is the very first place that Carter listed when he was telling her of the places that she could visit. She is on a rooftop of a apartment building. There is a very large cage full of pigeons, and she is standing there making sure they have water, because even though it's overcast, it's a little hot. And then she goes and she stands and looks out over the city of smog and traffic and people everywhere. And she reaches to scratch at her shoulder. She looks again like she did when we first met her on the boat. It only takes about 24 hours, and then she can be a human again. Hey. And she looks like she used to. And as she scratches at her shoulder as though there's some kind of phantom itch there, we see that she is wearing a dog tag.
I want to take us to. I'll start. You can finish. I want to take us to Corsicana, Texas, where the Viscountess Burgundy, Freddie, and her personal doctor, Dr. Pierce, arrive to inherit this ocean of oil that the Viscountess Burgundy has laid claim to. But it's mired in tragedy as mere months after the Viscountess Burgundy inherited this field of oil, she succumbed to a tragic illness and left behind her great fortune to her faithful servant, Frederick. And quietly, a woman now going by the name of Charlotte Pierce boards a train with a certain doctor for parts unknown.
I believe this might be a little cliche, and I think Pierce asks Charlie one day, do you trust me?
At this point, you don't even have to ask.
No, I know you love me. I'm asking if you trust me. Two different things.
Yes, I trust you.
I am going to go away for a while. But I will be back because I can't guarantee you a future if I don't fill in the blanks. I'm going back to Europe. I got people I got to talk to. But I will be back, and I swear to you, every memory we are going to create together, they're going nowhere.
I kiss him. And then I take his tie. You get this back when you come back.
Yes, ma'am. I like it when you use the Viscountess energy. And we cut back to Europe, the Panacea Foundation. A chamber that no one on the outside world is supposed to know about. 7 bald human beings lay on an altar, each a separate table, their heads pointed towards each other, and above, a golden strand that splits into thousands of other strands. Pierce strides in, and unfortunately, with very Carter-like energy, is threatening one of the other folks there, the man that did this to him, Mr. Dubois. You are going to give those back to me. I want my mother back. I want my brother back. And I swear to God, if you ever try to take anything that is tied to me or Charlie, I will carve up everybody at the Panacea Foundation. Do I make myself clear? And time bends and twists. And a certain Dr. Alonzo Pierce is wearing a tie and is happy back in America. Yay, happy endings. Who would have thunk?
Oh.
Huh?
So great that
I
it
was
ends there.
holding
Wes.
my breath the whole time, waiting for when Percy was gonna do the reverse on us, but he didn't. He was
No. No,
happy.
no. I thought I was like, what if I die there? What I was like,
Maybe.
what if I just let him I was like, what if they just kill me? But no.
Wes, could you please read out the prompt for the blood-soaked portal, the mask that you've marked, and then
Oh.
narrate your epilogue?
We see the ship docked in Bristol. It's nighttime, the night before it departs. Still nothing. And then you see a figure shimmy onto a large chain and crawl into where anchors are held in this massive ship. You don't see them, but you just hear a whistle, and it echoes. You see a few vignettes of Carter stepping through the holds. And then a black bag is put over his head. We then cut back to the engine room, where Carter jumps on Idonius Flag's back, and he says, I may be a fucking rat, but I'm going to show you exactly what you are. And he starts like punching him in the head and starts biting him and everything like that, and Idonius Flag is trying to grab him and throw him off. And then he leaps off of him at the last moment as Idonius Flag is freaking out, and he just kicks him in the back with his bare feet, and Idonius Flag goes flying into a pole, and he hits his forehead and gets knocked out and hits the ground and goes black. We then cut to darkness. A sharp pain in Carter's gut. As he wakes up and he realizes that he has a sharp pain, he's in pain, he's chained to a pipe, and there's a bag on his head, and he starts screaming and caterwauling and losing it, and he finally gets the bag off of his head, and he sees that he's in a hold somewhere in the bottom of the ship. He's been handcuffed to a pipe. There's something jutting out of his stomach. He tries to grab it and it hurts too much, and he sees his hand and he panics, and then he starts breathing and he realizes, okay, it'll be fine, it'll be fine. He grabs the pen that he keeps in the back of his tooth right there. It's just stuck in his gum, just for the emergencies, and he pulls it out, and he takes it and he undoes the handcuff and drops the pen. And then he looks at the wound and he's like, okay, I gotta find a doctor. I gotta find a doctor. And he starts stumbling through the dark. And then he trips over a body. He stands up. And the knife is no longer in his gut. And he says, what the And he feels the foot and he goes, oh shit. What the fuck is this boat? And he looks over and he sees there's some of a silhouette, and he pulls out his lighter and he flicks it open and he lights it. And you see he's staring back at himself. Milky eyes. His own blood has had Atlantean, some kind of oceanic runes, those same things, spirals painted all over his body. And there's a trident-like dagger in his stomach. The blood-soaked portal for the stowaway is while wandering the lower decks of the RMS Chronos, you notice a person crumpled in the corner of a hold. Investigating further, you move the body to notice it's none other than yourself, dead for what seems several weeks. You're tied to the Chronos, doomed to wander its halls as a ghost forever. Retire this character. It goes black. You then start hearing jungle noises, mixed with machinery. It's hot and sweltering. Idonius Flag wakes up, breathing. He's exactly the same. He has a mark on his forehead, and he's in a bamboo cage. He looks around, He sees there's a man in a French Foreign Legion soldier's uniform standing over a table. You can hear there's a crowd around. Excuse me, good man, excuse me, where am I being held? The man in the French Foreign Legion soldier turns around, in uniform, he turns around and you can see that his jaw is dislocated. His skin is flapped away. His temple has been caved in. It looks like somebody pistol whipped him multiple times with a revolver. In French, with subtitles popping up, says, "Hell, my dear man." The bamboo cage opens and there's multiple hands that grab Idonia's flag and start dragging him. In Vietnamese, you can hear as you see these people holding them, they all have rings in their eyes, as if somebody has fired a gun in pure darkness and the last thing they saw was that flash. Their hair floats, as if they are souls damned forever. They start talking. The rat's back. He came back. He thought he could get away, but he's back. They start talking about the times how the rat was forced to fight other French Foreign Legion soldiers, how the French would bet on him. He would have to fight Vietnamese rebels, civilians, in a cage. You can see more of these Vietnamese people, men, women, children, are gathered in an arena in the center of a burning, shelled-out city. They dump Idonia's flag into the sand. They strip him of his clothes, and then they toss a club in with him. Everybody goes quiet, and then they start chanting in Vietnamese, "Rat," over and over and over again. A bamboo gate opens, and you see walking out, still covered in black like the Chronos, like he was on the Chronos before. He's got his shiv in one hand, and he's got that harpoon in the other. And he says, "Okay, flag. Trip number 73. Let's see if you can finally take me down this time. Remember, you take me out, you get to go home free. I'm getting real tired, buddy. You're gonna have to try something new." Idonia's flag is confused. He doesn't know what's happening. He just picks up the club, and then he starts walking over, holding it up like he's gonna hit him with a baseball bat. And Carter goes, "Buddy, you gotta try something new." And then he immediately just picks up some sand and just throws it towards Flag's face. And that's where, yeah.
Yeah!
Wow.
And that is the Between Unsinkable.
Woo.
Let's go to Stars and Wishes.
Oh my god.
I cannot believe we got a happy ending, and then that epilogue, Wes. Holy hell. Stars. That was incredible.
So
Unreal.
freaking good.
I really want to thank everybody, like Stars, for really coming along on this voyage with me. I wasn't sure if I could make it happen. You know, of the Between game run in such a short amount of time, while still trying to hit beats, while still trying to get some good character development and good character interactions. And I could not have been more blessed with an amazing table of amazing players than I was with the four of you. I cannot believe how lucky I was for that. So big stars for all of you. This is one of the best role-playing experiences of my life. So I really want to thank you all for that, for coming along on this journey with us. Specifically stars to Susan. You missed an entire session and you came back in like just guns a-blazing. No, not even guns, like these guns going, ready to go and ready to break our hearts, and break our hearts you did. I'm so glad we got to mark that last box. That was just perfect use of the moves, perfect use of the character, really amazing use of the playbook. I never expect less from you because you are an amazing role player and an amazing person, and thank you so much for bringing this character to our table. Percy, the depth you went with Dr. Pierce in such a short period of time was absolutely incredible. For somebody who's never played a Card from Brindlewood game or the Between game before, I never would have believed it. The way that you have completely understood the assignment, stepped in, made everything your own, made everything so perfectly different than anything I would have expected from this playbook. I cannot say how happy I am. I cannot say, I don't even have words how excited I am that you brought this character to us. So thank you so very much for being at this table with us. Um, Wes, this game is incredible. It is depressing. It is dark. It has so many moments of just really heart-breaking depth, and then also moments of just hilarious levity. And it walks that line so perfectly. You've written a real gem here, and I loved the character of Carter, how he was terrifying and hilarious at the same time. Just really, really wonderful. So thank you so much as well. And Kim, not only were you handling all of the tech stuff on the side, but you also brought us this character that was so likable and unlikable at perfect moments, exactly when she needed to be, so that we loved her even more. And really everyone was rooting for Charlie and Dr. Pierce, and that is because of the two of you. And the relationship, I wish we had more time to get into the relationship with Freddie. I think that would have been a lot of fun, but I really love seeing how that was blossoming and how that grew and how it felt like a real friendship, even though it was sort of a servitude thing. It was a real factotum type thing going on. And you, of course, are a complete master of the between. You know exactly what you're doing at every time, every moment, every decision. And if you did not know what you were doing, you have us all completely fooled, because that was outstanding. That was masterclass character. So thank you as well.
Thank you. Well, it's hard to follow up those stars. I just am so
That's
enamored.
why I like to go first.
Yeah, I know. I'm just so enamored with everyone at this table. Amanda, I've known you for a while now. You've been like a huge champion of my work personally, and just like a big supporter of all things CFB and all things Kim Dalton. And thank you for roping me into this stream. You did such a good job. You ran this so impressively. I run the between, and I have no idea how I would run a full beginning to end campaign in 5 sessions. That was like Herculean what you did, and I'm so impressed that you wrapped it up and like handled it as well as you did. Like, I'm so impressed. You're so good. Talk about a masterclass. Susan played in my very first between game, so I wouldn't be sitting here if it weren't for Susan. Clearly we just have to do more games together, because you're like my good luck CFB charm. Except in that campaign, you were the one who didn't get a happy ending and retired tragically. But
Hey, the Cthulhu monster was stuck with me,
yeah, it's true.
right? I'm gonna hold it at bay for the rest of my ghostly life.
Yeah,
I also want to point out, Kim, in that game, you were my doctor.
I was.
So I love that in this game now you got a doctor of your own.
Yeah. But yeah, just always such a delight to have you at the table, and like I loved your masks. God, what a beautiful, endearing character, and like so sweet and so much heart, and just like I never had doubt, both as a character and as a player, that like Elga's gonna come in and she's gonna fix everything, and it's all gonna be okay.
It's so valid.
Percy, hi baby. This is so different than the Star Wars game we played together.
Yeah.
But wow, so fun. You're so fun to play off of. Had no idea that we would be playing a romance, and I don't think you did either until it kind of spontaneously happened in the second episode. I wonder to this day what would have happened had Carter gotten on that boat and not Dr. Pierce. But
I'm just saying though, I would have climbed that mountain that is called Elga. I'm
yeah,
letting you know.
absolutely.
So I apologize. I know what I would have done.
Yeah, no, with respect, Me too. Um, we love Big Lady. But just I'm so happy with the story that we got to tell together, of like our little like personal Charlie Pierce story over the course of 4 episodes, and especially when like half of that was us in different scenes, not with each other, but we were still keeping it alive and keeping it going. And like I'm just so happy that those crazy kids got a happy ending. And I'm happy that Freddie is retiring a wealthy person. Good for them, they deserve it. And Wes, thank you for making the depression simulator that is this game. I'm so impressed as someone who's working on my own CFB game. Like the notion that you churned this out in like a handful of months, and that it like exists and it's getting published. I find that like so inspirational. Please teach me your ways. And it's been such a pleasure to meet you, and I hope that this is like the beginning of like a fun working and like personal relationship, because like you seem like a really cool individual and I'd love to do shit with you. That was really long. No one else has to do them as long.
No, it's good. It's good. It's all good. I can go next.
Okay.
That's fine. Yeah. No, I might be long and rambly too, so I do apologize. I will go just kind of around. I'll start with Percy. Thank you. I'm gonna do this for all of you, but thank you for playing the doctor for this. I really appreciate it. This is I believe the 3rd time I've seen the Doctor iterated, and it is a completely different version of the Doctor, and so that's how I know that it works. And that's kind of how I am assessing each of these playbooks. Is that if you can get multiple iterations and they seem to be having fun with it, then it works. And that's playtesting in a nutshell, baby. That's the first tip. Boom. There you go. That one's for free. But you have such like you behaved with Alonzo like a doctor. Your mannerisms, your speech, how you talked, the calmness in your voice, the patience in your voice, even when things were dire, even when you were facing down yourself in that end point too, and about the fight and everything, like you just had this demeanor even when you were losing parts of yourself, and that's so beautifully represented. And I love seeing how people approach the Panacea Foundation, because I wrote it with enough details for you to understand the gist, but I want everybody to take that and run with it, and you did too. And it makes me want to see what that Disney Plus spin-off show looks like of Dr. Pierce and what comes afterwards. I think that's great. They'll call it Pierce or something like that. Pierce MD.
Yeah, something real
yeah,
dumb,
something
where it's
like
just
that.
his name.
Yeah.
It's just gonna be Doctor, but it's not
It's
the word. It's Dr.
No, yeah,
Oh,
DR.
perfect.
Yeah, DR. Perfect. I yeah, I am very impressed with your skills. I'm very impressed with your candor and like who you are as a person. Because you very much show yourself as a person at the table, and so you're very friendly. We didn't know each other from Adam when we first
No.
met, and then you very much were like very welcoming and just like asked questions and we're just like engaged with everything, and it's just like it's very cool. And I say that not as like oh, you did a good job, gold star, but it's like I appreciate that, because there are often times when people create games, they don't get a lot of feedback, or they don't get a lot of like intense like approach to the table like that. And so I'm very lucky and blessed to have that. Um, Good heavens, Susan. The only crime that I could see committed on this stream is that we did not get to see more Carter and Elga. And I want to thank you for portraying the Stoker, and it's so weird because you had the same vice as another person who portrayed the Stoker. And it seems like it might be such a similar story, but y'all had 2 very different approaches to it, and you had different approaches to how you did your masks. And I love the intensity that always felt kind of present within Elga, even when there was moments of like softness and gentleness and everything. It was like a curiosity. It was you could tell that it was somebody that like, especially in that last mask that you recited, like with that combination of the grave and that mask of the past, and like kind of seeing and displaying confusion and not and doubt of like this powerful being being like, well, what do I do now? Like I don't know what to do now. Like what do I do with myself? And just obviously just like very very entertaining little like pickup lines of like things of just like would just be like little throwaway lines of observations from Elga, or just like a somebody said something to you, and it felt very much like a more earnest Drax of the that just went right over your head, and it's like, of course nothing goes over my head, I'm too fast, I'd catch them all. Like it kind of that kind of feeling, that vibe, and it was great. And that beatdown that you had at the end, the kaiju fight between the two of you. Oh, beautiful stuff, beautiful stuff. Yeah, can't ask for more. I want more Elga songs. I want more of them. They're great. I can't wait to see you play this playbook and other playbooks too, because like and you as well, Percy. Like if y'all like bring the same like just earnestness that you did with these, then I think that you could master all of these. It'd be very easy for you both. Kim, thank you so much for producing this. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you so much for having us. Thank you so much for working with Amanda, and then also stealing the keys from Rev. So that we could steal the studio for the night and everything. Sorry, Rev, I drank some of your beers. I'll get some more and I'll replace the fridge and everything. It's okay. I might have also smoked a cigarette in the bathroom. It's okay. There's potpourri in there. It'll be okay. It's fine. It's fine. It's just a little house party. But no, I have not seen the Socialite in play until this moment, and so thank you for playing the Socialite and for showing me that it works. It clearly works. The playbook clearly works. You seem to be having the time of your life, just being a just like I just get to be the upclass fun one, and people do stuff for me and everything, and that's the nature of the Socialite is. There's just like you just get to play fast and loose with it, and you just get to have fun until you realize that the fun's over and things are actually bad. And it's very much like one of those characters, like the Undeniable, where it is an overpowered playbook. There is a lot that you can do. And there's a lot that you can kind of control and sway, and you can make characters do things for you and forget, and you can just have things brought to you, and you can have your best friend that you have sex with sometimes be your assistant and everything. It's great. But there you had that nice little underlying sadness with Charlie, of like that little bit of like that divide of like things aren't quite clicking and fitting, and then you were able to, and this is how I can tell you're an actor, you were able to take those feelings and you're able to mesh it and make it fit like a puzzle piece with scenes that you had with Percy. And so you were able to take that underlying sadness, and there was no sign of it at all, because it felt like something was fit, like Charlie was comfortable. And so like that was very cool to see and witness, and that's the playbook in action, folks. That's to a T. That's the poster child right there. So like look at it as an example right there if you want to learn how to play. I love these playbooks. They are all very personal. They're different parts of me. They're different aspects of me or other people in my life. Things that they've gone through, I've gone through. And they are all very sad in different ways. And y'all very much brought that forward. And I cannot wait to play more games with each of you. I cannot wait to hang out with more of you. I have been a lurker in the Crit Show Discord for a while, because I'm just like, it's like I'm so overwhelmed and there's a lot of people. And now I'm just like, okay, freaks, what are we doing next? What are y'all doing next? What are we watching next? What are we playing next? Hang out with everybody around here. It's a great little hangout you got around here. So I appreciate y'all having me. Finally, Amanda, thank you so much for having this idea and pitching it. And then not only, it is one thing, because I've been running this game and writing this game so much. I feel like I just know every part of it in the back of my brain. I have yet to play it. And so for you to kind of offer that up and like immediately be like, and I think you should play it and everything, I was like, that's so kind of you. And also I need that desperately. I need to be able to sit on this side of the table and see if it works. And guess what? It works. And you ran it brilliantly in 5 sessions while having sunstroke, while being sick, while having me, the creator that was supposed to be here on a Monday, but missing the first session because other shit got in the way. And you still did it. I went back and watched the VOD. I saw you did great. And then you came back with heat stroke, and then you folded me in perfectly. And then we had Susan that was traveling and everything like that. And like you said, Susan was brought back in seamlessly, but then you were able to like work on the fly with that. You're a great keeper. You do a great job at everything like that. And you're so bloody fucking passionate about like not only the system, but the games, but the people that play them, and about the people that like create them, and the people that like handle them and everything. You just have so much passion and brilliance and like and kindness in your heart. And so it's very kind for like it's very, this is like my first game I've ever sold. This is my first like, I have made itch games and I've made itch supplements, but this is my first one that I've ever had published. And so it means a lot for you to be the first person other than me to be the person that has run it. Like that's a huge thing to me, and I'm always gonna remember it, and I'll cherish this forever. And like, and that goes to people out in chat too. You out there, open your windows and go out and home and say I'm mad as hell and I don't care who. No. But like, no, it's like y'all are great. Thank y'all for watching this. Like, thank y'all for like sitting in chat, interacting, participating, supporting stuff like this. This stuff is cool. The world is on fire. Things are shitty, and we like have to take moments, little micro moments, if you can, in doses, and like find some joy even in our type 2 fun. Look up type 2 fun. This is what type 2 fun is. Type 2 fun is when you do bad bummy things, like depressing things, but you have fun from them. So look it up. It's great. I love type 2 fun. But yeah, all in all, I have talked so much. I'm sweating because I've talked so much. But y'all are sick. Y'all are awesome. So yeah. If I don't drink much anymore. I'm California sober, but if I ever see y'all out and about, first drinks on me. It's fine. That's great. And I'll get the last one too. First and last one on me.
Bless.
How do we follow that? What the hell? why
Good
why'd the
luck.
two talkers why'd the two talkers go first? Good lord. Just
Here,
yapped
let
them.
me show you how we follow that.
Okay.
Hi, everybody.
Hi.
I think I'm in shock, or maybe I've had too much to drink. I haven't drank anything, but that's just what I feel like right now. So I'm just gonna say, my stars are all of you. You're stars. I love you. I'm
Love you,
done.
Susan.
Is
Short,
Elga in the
sweet.
room with us right now? Oh my god. Yeah, but yeah, stars to just this entire cast. I have never felt this loved in a group before. Like, holy cow, there are so many good people with good hearts that just want to tell great stories together. And that is tabletop RPGs, my loves. And wow, we did it. We won tabletop RPGing. But Wes, thank you for giving us an avenue to be creative together. You are an amazing creator. You deserve all your flowers. I cannot wait to see how much more you're going to succeed. Susan, game 2 together. I loved it. You are amazing. I want to play every game with you. Please do so. Just come to my house right now. Door's unlocked. I always leave it unlocked. I'm big and scary. No one can beat my ass. So that's why the door's always unlocked. I'm kidding. My babies are here. My door's locked. Amanda, this is our first time really chit-chatting. You are indeed everyone's biggest fan, and that is the energy of such a kind, loving, passionate woman. And wow, I am so lucky I get to call you a friend. And you are a crazy good keeper. Oh my god, you are so good at this. Do this forever. And Kim, my stream wife, you're so lovely. You're so perfect. Thank you so much for again, the Star Wars one. So much different than this one, but both times you've made me feel so welcome. And a thing I didn't think I really counted for because I didn't do podcasting, I didn't do streaming and stuff like that. But you just have such a calm, easy energy to get along with. And then when you're ready to create, girl, do you create? And everything you make, you turn it into gold. Period. I can't wait to play more games with you.
I know. I can't wait.
That's it. Mushy sets over. Someone wrap us up. We're done.
All right, babies. Very quickly because we're so over time. I'm sorry, Dad. I will give you the keys back to the car momentarily. Everyone quickly. We just did so much gushing about each other. Now gush about yourselves. Where can people find you? Say goodbye. Last one.
All right, everybody. I am Amanda. My pronouns are she, her. You can find me at iamatrx.com. And I am around on the internet. So let's be friends. I'll hype your stuff.
Check out Sprigs and Kindling.
Yes, sprigsandkindling.com. If you want to get involved, let me know. It's super fun.
Hi, I'm Susan Quintana, and I think I'm finally ready. No. You can find me on Instagram at neither right nor wrong. You can also listen to my podcast that I produce and edit and run. It's called Novel Games, novelgamespodcast.com or patreon.com/novelgames or Facebook or Instagram. Also, the next Omniverse, I am going to be the keeper of the keys,
Oh,
and
shit.
I am going to be running Apocalypse Keys or the Crit Show. So make sure you come back and watch that as well. I'll be here in July, making sure the world doesn't end and that the monsters, Omen level monsters, behave themselves. They probably won't because Rev's one of them, and Tass.
Oh, good luck.
Oh no. I am Percy Davis, current or former professional wrestler, current professional wrestling commentator. You can see me at Naptown All Pro. I got wrestling matches on YouTube. I got wrestling matches on IWTV. If you want to see me wrestle, I'm pretty fun and goofy, just the way I is. The way I am right here. Except I'm half naked and I beat up other half naked people. It's fun. It's hot. You love it. You can find me most places at Big Purse Universe. And I love you. Happy Pride.
Yes.
Happiest Prideous from me as well. My name is Wes Franks. My pronouns they them. My job. I should have done a lizard man bit. Damn it. Okay, I can't start over anymore. Anyways, if you want to follow me and see what I'm doing, carrion-comfort.com. That's also conveniently my socials. Also, if you want to email me, I've gotten a little bit of adjustment here now, so you can just do wes at carrion-comfort.com. And so it's just everywhere. I'm very findable. You're welcome, United States government. We'll see if I can reverse that eventually. I do have some good news. If you like this game, if you like being sad, if you like approaching dark topics, dark imagery, things that make you go, that made me feel bad, and now I have to learn a little bit more about the world. Uh, this is the first time I'm announcing it, like not in like a Discord or something like that. But in fall 2026, my next game, Come On In, which is a Southern Fried Small Town Mystery, is crowdfunding through Plus One EXP. I have sold another game to a publisher somehow. But we are going to be gathering a monster squad of fucking talent to bring forward a role-playing game about a grisly murder case that rocks a small coastal Louisiana town in the 1990s. And so you and another player have to work together as two police detectives to solve that murder. The twist is you find out that it was caused by a vampire and he's slowly taking over this town. And so if you like True Detective, Alan Wake 2, Salem's Lot, that kind of thing, and you hate cops and you want to learn more about police procedure and how to combat it, and also about municipal corruption and how to combat that in your own small communities so you can keep each other safe, then you can go ahead and just look that out for this. It's going to be a great time. We're going to have an all-star people making contributions. Also, we're going to have stretch goals, so if you want to see this game take place in places other than Louisiana, like, say, outside of Chicago or in the Pacific Northwest or even, like, New Delhi, so you might want to, like, come and stick by and, like, throw some money at it. Though, that is if we are still, like, an Earth that is still here by this time next year, by that time next year, so we will see what happens. But please, please, please keep an eye out for that. That's me. That's it. Thank y'all so much. Mea culpa for taking that one again.
Wes and I just during a break were talking about me maybe being involved in one of those stretch goals. So we will. I'm excited about that. I can't wait. Hi everyone. I'm Kim Dalton. Pronouns she, her. I'm a little emotional because this might be, at least for the foreseeable future, as far as I know, the last thing I do for the Crit Show, which is super weird. Because California state tax is California state tax. So yeah, I knew I always had this in May and June, but now this is like, it's feeling really real now. And I'm very in my feels about it, but I'm around. You can find me. I'm here on the Crit Show Discord at Kim. You can find me at Kim Dalton or Kim.Dalton most anywhere. You can also listen to me if you miss my voice and want to hear me run Car from Brindlewood Games. You can check out Kitchen Marlowe, available wherever you get your podcasts. We're currently running The Between, but I have designs to do like basically every other Car from Brindlewood in existence. So stay tuned for our eventual run of Unsinkable, I suppose. But please check it out. It's a really, like, I don't mean to hype my own show, but like it's really fucking good, and like more people should be listening to it because like it's a huge labor of love, and like it's super, not to toot my own horn, it's really freaking good. You should listen to it if you haven't listened to it. So please check it out. Amanda, anything last you want to say?
Yeah, one last little thing. If you liked this game, The Between Unsinkable by Wes Franks, you can get it when the Between Kickstarter edition comes out in hardcovers. They're going to be beautiful. This game is going to be in Sons of Another World, and you should absolutely pick it up, run it for your friends, be sad with us. It is going to be so good, and it's going to be so pretty.
Also, if you missed the crowdfunder, hit me up, and as soon as like the pre-orders go live and everything like that, I'll launch that link over to you so we can go ahead and get you squared away, and you won't even have to miss a beat. It'll get delivered right to you.
Heck yeah.
There we go.
Thanks, everybody. Love you. Thank you for joining us for Unsinkable. And we will see you all next month for the Omniverse Chronicles Apocalypse Keys. Have a good one.